Well, I see by the clock on the wall, it is 7 o'clock, so we will call the meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of council in the Municipality of Swan Valley West, held in council chambers at 216 Main Street, Swan River, this 10th day of March, 2026 at 7 p.m. Present this evening, Reeve Gade, Councillors Kushniryk, RJ McGregor, Carrie Blosha, Terry Neely, Burick, Byron Zbirun. Our CAO, Kristi, Ronnquist is here. Our videographer, Jeremy Bergen, is here, and we at the moment have one person joining us electronically in the gallery. We'll start into the agenda at number 2. Be it resolved, the agenda for the regular meeting of council held this 10th day of March 2026 shall be adopted as presented. Moved by Councillor Blosha. Who would like to second? Councillor Burick. Any additions to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. Let's talk minutes. Be it resolved, the minutes of the regular council meeting held February 24th, 2026 be adopted as presented. Who would like to move the resolution? Councillor Neely, and I see Councillor Kushniryk to second. Copy of the minutes is attached. Has everybody had a chance to go through those? Any errors or omissions? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. Into number 4, Public Works Report. What's there is a bunch of stuff for us to consider in budgeting, so we're just going to leave that all for now. Did he submit a report at all for? So unfortunately, no report received from Public Works. Let's move down to financial items. 8.1, General Cheques. Be it resolved, the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. General Cheques number 21172 to 21201. The amount of $162,430.37. Pre-authorized debit 2026-011 to 2026-013 in the amount of $752.41. And credit card number 2026-055 to 2026-068 in the amount of $1,868.58 for a grand total of $165,051.36. We'd like to move the resolution. Councillor Kushniryk and Councillor Neely will second it. I have the checks somewhere in the file. There. Who has questions? Councillor Blosha.
21173.
21173, AM Trading Company, $5,000 for fuel. I have delivery slips from Esso bulk purchase. What would you like to know?
Oh no, you said they're fuel?
21173, yeah,
Yeah,
AM Trading Company.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
fuel. Okay, no, then and then the other one was the 21179. Is that our gravel for this year? The crushing?
Crushing of 8,000 yards. This is stockpile 8,000 cans pit. Sand is the gravel. It must be this year's gravel because it's dated March 6th.
Yeah.
So it must be
Okay.
stuff that's been crushed since January 1st.
And then 21197.
Line 7, that is the door for the Benito shop. The office.
The office.
Yeah.
And that's just so we can store stuff in there?
That's, remember the old one was leaking
Yeah.
so bad, so that's hopefully going to cut the heat price down and then actually have the door open and close again.
Yep. Okay.
Did you see that picture or were you away that?
No, I must have been away. I
No,
didn't.
you could see quite a bit of daylight.
Yeah.
You could see, you close the door like that.
And then 2026059.
Best Buy,
Is that like a new computer for Benito?
computer tower.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And there's a credit there with it because they shipped the first one, it got lost. They bought the second one, they credited the first one back.
But they only credited part of it back.
Where is the, so what was
Credited
the
back.
check number? Or is it,
Well, they
Oh, it's
credited
credit
back the amount that we paid for the first one, so we got the sale price. So the difference between those is the sale price that we paid for the first one that we never got. Make sense?
Yeah, no,
that-
just quite a difference.
It actually
Yeah.
cost $1,000,
Yeah.
the whole unit.
Yeah,
Did it also have monitors on that?
they came separate. the
Okay, it's not
project
the same numbers.
Prior to,
Okay.
that was a few weeks ago.
If you're thinking computers, by the way, now rather than later, because computers are going up 40 to 50% in the next few weeks.
What does that have to do with fuel?
Well, it's nothing to do with fuel, it's to do with AI.
Fuel.
It's not-
Fuel is going up, so.
Fuel went up, but it's gonna come back down right away.
When we had the fire in
Yes.
July, we bought new computers in August, and the RAM was costing $259 for a server. The same RAM today is $1,550. It's expected to go to $2,500. So every computer made after August is just a ludicrous price. That one from Best Buy was an August one still, it was cheap. Crazy. Anything else on the checks? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. To payroll checks we go. Be it resolved, the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. Payroll payments number 1123 to 1139, amount of $29,116.79. Who'd care to move the resolution? We'll have Councillor Blosha and Councillor, where's the list, Burick. Copy of those payroll summaries are attached in the private view. Does anyone have questions or discussion on those? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. 6.3, indemnities. Be it resolved, the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. Indemnities for February, number 4774 to 4782, in the amount of $9,737.15. Would someone like to move the resolution? Councillor McGregor, who would like to second? Councillor Neely. Copy of the indemnity summary is attached as well. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. There's resolution. Those in favor? That's carried. We don't have a bank report presented tonight. The budget items we're going to come back to. That's fire department stuff attached there. We'll head to discussion. 9.1 permit listings. This is for council's information. So we have a few permits that have been issued so far this year. One of them you may notice is in Durban for demolition of a mobile home and sheds on a property there, which will probably be an okay thing because that was in pretty bad shape. I see some work is going on there already to start on that. And then there's also a permit for a dwelling moving to the site because a new foundation had a permit for a nice new heated shop. So starting off slow this year, but we're getting there. Any further discussion on that? Let's go to 9.2. Be it resolved, the Urban Animal Control Report for February 2026 be received and approved for payment. Is there a mover? Councillor Kushniryk and Councillor Neely. Copy of that report is attached. Just 2 hours for office paperwork and some phone calls to people with some concerns he wasn't out anywhere. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. 9.3, the Urban Animal Control Report. Be it resolved, the Urban Animal Control Report for February 2026 be received and approved for payment. Who would like to move the resolution? Councillor McGregor, who would like to second? Councillor Blosha. Copy of that report is attached as well. A live trap was set. Looking for a cat, found a skunk. Skunk was relocated to skunk heaven. Streets there are paved with like flowers, daisies, I'm sure. Also live trap set for a cat that had been frequenting the property and 2 dogs at large when they spoke to the folks that had that problem. Any discussion? Nothing, will call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. Now we get some interesting stuff. 9.4, Utilities Bylaw. Be resolved, the bylaw number 010824 being a bylaw of the Municipality of Swan Valley West, known, something's not right there. Let's take the word known out. To set water and wastewater rates and conditions for the Burick water utility shall be read a 3rd time this 10th day of March 2026. Be it further resolved, the bylaw shall be signed by the Reeve and signed and sealed by the Chief Administrative Officer. Is there someone to move that resolution? Councillor Kushniryk, who would like second? Councillor McGregor. What isn't attached here is the order from Public Utilities Board. It was received late last week. So they have approved our rate application for the Benito utility that we put in back in 2024, effective January 1st, 2026, which means the utility rates will be changing. The new rates are attached in this bylaw. This is all the stuff from their order. It's just written into the bylaw instead. So these are the ones, if you remember, all the way back to 2024 when we submitted these. We had hoped they'd take effect in 2025, but they reviewed it all that time, and they now take effect in 2026. So these rates, we have to finish the bylaw, then the rates will take effect all the way back to January 1st. So we'll be charging the new rates at the end of March when we build the water. So there's the biggest changes there is the price of water itself goes up, but the price of sending you the bill goes down to better reflect what we actually spend on sending the bills out and put that money into the actual costs, which is making the water and distributing it. It also provides for an increase in 2027, so the rates increase about 2%, give or take, into next year. The board, we'll have to get a copy of the order to council next meeting. They ordered us to report back mid-2027 on how things are going to make sure the rates are suitable for Benito. And they also approved the changes up until now. The plan for how you build the time to the utility was based on how it was done for the village of Benito and never been updated to Swan Valley West. So they approved the new billing that we had looked at and passed. There was a couple small changes of a cent or two here or there in the rates because the way we rounded numbers were not the same way the board rounded numbers. But otherwise, these are basically the rates we sent in originally.
12 and 15.
Sorry?
Number 12 and 15.
12 and 15. Oh yeah. So they got
With different rates too.
Well, that's a problem.
I figured it might be.
Yep, that's a problem. So we will table that for now and see if at the break we can fix that up. I think it's probably easy enough to fix the break. We'll bring that back if everyone's okay with that.
Yep.
Update that so we have to move our secondary, we'll bring it back. 9/5, G4 meeting, March 30th, 6 p.m, Minitomas. Looking for
Yeah, I need
serious
to,
commitment of who's going and who's not. There's 1, 2, 3,
When is that? It's Monday?
must be a Monday.
Oh,
Before-
just,
let's change his
Bill,
mind.
just hold it for 1 second.
Anniversary,
No,
birthday.
Valentine's Day.
we're having that rec meeting in Benito March 30th, you and I.
Well,
So,
which rec meeting did you?
well, because they, instead of having it,
Oh, they moved it.
they moved it early because they're having that, thing April 11th. So for some reason, they didn't want to have the first Monday in April would be the 6th.
Cause
Are you
that's
sure the
Easter.
Easter time.
Yeah.
That was the weekend, yeah.
Are you sure it was moved? This
Yeah,
is-
March 30th.
I remember the discussion, I remember telling them that you and I couldn't be there that night.
I got them down here March 3rd, so I guess we don't make the,
Yeah. Well, G4 is more important.
well, I wouldn't say that.
It kinda is.
Yeah, okay, no, that's, because I just thought of it.
And I think I'll try to make it too.
Okay,
Please.
Councillor Blosha thinks she's gonna try it. Councillor McGregor, Councillor Eric,
think so.
you think so? So we're thinking 8, maybe 7. Good job if we can all make it there.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah, it's nice to all go.
You said Minitonas, right?
Yes. No, okay, 7 that will be. Alright, 9/6, Alert Manitoba designation. We had emergency measures out here in the, it must be a week and a half ago or so. They met with us as well as Mountain and the town of Swan River. We hosted a meeting here. Manitoba Bozeman was not able to attend for some reason. We talked about a bunch of things. One of the things on the agenda list is if we wish, we can designate someone here, like the CAO, to be able to issue alert-ready messages. They never get to issue them without supervision, but they would have the training on how to have them written and submit them to have the next person approve them. In the case of an emergency, it saves some time. Otherwise, you're calling Winnipeg and getting them to write it for you. And they say it can save 20 minutes to half an hour if you can write them yourself. So we came to ask council if you would like us to have someone here designated to take the training and
Is
be
that
able to
like
write
an
the
alert
messages.
that comes on your phone?
Correct.
Why not?
Yeah.
I think it's a one-day online training thing. It's not a huge deal, but you can't do it unless we pass a resolution saying we want to.
I don't see how it would harm anything.
Not costing anything.
Just time.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, a
you're
little bit
taking
of time to
training.
start with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
We resolve the council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West designate the CAO to be trained to be an authorized user of the Alert MB system. Who would like to move the resolution? Councillor Blosha. Who would like to second it? Councillor Neely. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. Q1 safety meeting minutes are attached. These are in the private view because there's some stuff on here that maybe isn't totally public without redactions. But we'll give them a quick go over here with the stuff that is the public version of it. So the CAO met with the safety person and then they had a guest, which was me. And where did I start? Right here, I guess. Trying to figure out where the minutes end and where the... So we talked about the water plant in Manitoba. We put a sand container there at the beginning of the winter to try and slow down on the slipperiness, but we've had people still falling. We've talked about changing that out because it's a half barrel that's kind of in a spot that you don't see very easily. So we're going to change it to a full barrel of sand, put it right where you put the water in, and label it sand, and see if that helps people out a little bit more with scooping some and throwing it on the ice. We're built up there 1.5 feet now or so with ice from people spilling water because they just will not stop driving away with the hose in, and then it spills the water again. But the best we could come up with is putting the container easier to find and easier to see, so you almost trip over the container. And hopefully the people will throw some sand on the ground when it's slippery and solve the trouble. I've been through there off and on the last week or two. Whenever I'm in Benito, I just stop and throw some sand there too to try and slow it down a little bit, have fewer people fall. We were looking at also having the sanding truck go through there and sand that whole driveway because some of it's slippery further down too, and just once in a while it should be the whole thing done. We're also going to have Sean check daily to make sure that there's nothing going on too badly. The eyewash stations, the yellow paint borders aren't yet there, so we're waiting for those to be done. The no smoking signs, I complained about the no smoking sign at the Beater Water Treatment Plant because it looks goofy, so they're going to try and rejig that for me so it just looks a little bit more normal. It just kind of looks like it's taped up there like a garage sale sign, so we're going to make it look just a bit nicer. Water treatment plant, still some ongoing cleaning and stuff is on the list to do. I think you've seen already the new bench and everything that's in there, so a lot of that work is done, it's not finished yet. Safety manual's out of date, so we're working on updating that because a lot of it is not stuff that's current. As far as instance goes, on to the next page, we had the incident report for the employee that had that medical emergency while they were at work. So it's a little bit of a deal there. We talked a lot about that response. We're not exactly thrilled with how it went internally. We feel we wasted some time on getting the medical attention, that we could tighten that up quite a bit. They were transported to the wrong facility first. and nobody had actually called an ambulance, which is what they should have done. So there's just some things we're gonna work through there. We talked a lot about, we think our employees are having a hard time determining when has something risen to the level of an emergency. You know, we had that issue in the landfill with somebody sinking, but they didn't call 911. And we've had that issue in Benito, and 911 wasn't the first call. So we're talking about doing some training with the staff to better determine when is this risen to the level that you should be calling for immediate help, rather than saying, hey, I have a problem, could you when you have time? So we're gonna go through some of that. We had a near miss report of a person, an employee, driving a half ton around Benito with the hood up, all the way up, blocking the view of the windshield and looking through under it. The committee felt that that wasn't really something they could account for with a change in policy, so it was referred to Human Resources for discipline. There was another near miss of an employee carrying a chain down a hill to hook onto a grader. They slipped and pulled a muscle. There wasn't much the committee felt they could do with that either, other than just, you know, the general safe work we try to do. And there was a near miss reported of a grader being driven to the point where the machine was worn into the ground. That too, the committee felt met with that level of negligence. It wasn't really a safety issue, and they referred it to HR for discipline. The new business for the meeting, there's a davit in Benito. I think some people thought it was for lifting people out of manholes, but it's actually for lifting pumps out of the lift station. So they're going to do some work on putting a sign on it to make sure that people know it's not for lifting people out, because it's not certified, it's not in shape for that. It's meant for lifting the actual pumps. We're going to look at some quotes for a retractable lanyard. That's to do with the lift bucket on the tractor, because when they get to the edge and need to go and do something, they are kind of running out of space, and having something that could get them that little stretch would be good. We talked about smoke detectors in the shops. They're not required as far as we're aware, and they probably wouldn't work anyway because we just set them off every day with a grader. But we did talk about putting a carbon monoxide detector in the water treatment plant, because it does have gas heat, and it certainly could have carbon monoxide in there that we should be aware of. Spoke about radios. That's going to be one of the topics of the evening, I tell you, when we get in camera. Public Works, for the first time, may I add, ever, in the last 2 full years, mentioned the radios aren't working correctly. So we've spoken to that. We have some plans. We're going to talk about that more in budgeting, about what to do, and we're going to have a good long chat about that in camera, about an incident that we've had with the radios in the last few days. But you'll notice here that it says all the handhelds will be brought to the Swan River office. The surprise was we can't find most of them anymore, which refers to that the HR issue of missing equipment in the in-camera portion of the meeting. We know where they are now, kind of, but they're not with us anymore. So we'll also be talking about buying all the replacements for all the ones that are gone. Talked a little bit about the radio system. The general consensus from staff right now is they would rather use radios than cell phones, which is probably good, because you can use the radio as you drive down the road. Of course, if we have all the radios working perfectly, do we still have to pay people to have cell phones? I guess that becomes a question for council to ponder. We talked about battery backup for Thunder Hill. We don't have any there now. If the power's off, the radios stop working. Talked a little bit about just doing some stuff into the emergency plan with, if the power's out for 3 days, what are the things we need to worry about? Swan River Shop, the ceiling leak continues. We had tasked that over to Public Works a month or 2 ago. There's been no action on it, so instead it got tasked to the safety person now. So they are going to arrange someone to go and inspect why the leak is happening and work on getting that repaired. Benito office, the safety board is ready to be installed. There's an inspection to go on there. We talked about the phones. These are all digital phones, so we need to make sure we have something for power so they still work. But we also talked about the fact that we've kept one analog line here and one in Benito, so if the power is out for days, we can plug an old phone into it. And we even added an old phone to our emergency kit that works without power, so we have a phone to plug into it. We talked about water treatment plant. There was a bit of an issue there, so I requested that we get lockout tags for the water plant, so we could know when equipment is meant to be locked out, or if equipment was just accidentally left an estate. And we can talk maybe in camera a little bit about what transpired in the water plant one night that made it clear we need that. Otherwise, that's basically the minutes of the safety meeting. Thoughts, discussion? It's here for information, so we don't have to do anything with it, but it's certainly stuff council should be aware of.
You said we were gonna talk about the radios in the camera?
Yeah, well, why they're missing will definitely be in camera. The fact we need more is pretty public.
No, the question that you had about why should we be paying operators for cell phone if the radios are all working? That was discussed years ago, remember, for safety. In case the operator got out of the machine and hurt himself, at least they have a phone on them instead of climbing or dragging or whatever to them. So that was a safety concern at that time. That's why we went to allowing them to use their cell phones for, but yeah.
Anything else on the safety meeting minutes? If not, let's go to 9.8. We finally received an estimate that isn't $15,000 for cleaning that house in Benito. So the estimate's for $4,600, full property clean up, debris removal. I believe we would have to provide the trailer and haul the stuff, I think. This is just the labor part, do you know?
They were gonna try and find a trailer, I believe.
Okay, well, so
Who is
that's the
that?
trailer.
It's just to clean the interior and the whole yard site and everything.
I
I
think
don't
this is
know.
the interior,
What kind of
I don't
work
think
are you
this covers the yard site.
Oh.
The last quote we had for the interior was around 15, wasn't it?
But that's not like, this is just getting rid of everything, that's not cleaning it.
This is stripping it down, taking the carpet out,
Okay.
basically, yeah.
And it says here, full property clean out, including removal of all contents and debris disposal.
The previous quote was $14,880. It was a little more involved though, it was gonna spray some disinfectant.
Is there a name to this person or it's kind of confidential?
Is there a name to this person? I didn't get the quote, it came,
I don't know it.
a hard to pronounce name,
Yeah,
new to Canada,
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
yeah.
Total clean.
That-
Well, that's pretty reasonable price compared to the previous.
Yeah, very good.
A lot better.
Yep.
Do you want to think about it for a while? Do you want to take action on it? What do you want to do?
Well, it has to be done,
Well,
it's,
gotta
we can't let
clean
it
it
sit
out.
there forever.
Okay.
So then does it have to be painted and stuff inside after that?
It'll have to be a little more. But if the freezers and the fridge and everything are gone, the rest of it's pretty easy. It's just, you know, once everything's gone, it's stripped down to walls
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But
It won't
the
be so bad.
disposal of that can't, it says they're gonna dispose it at the landfill, some of those things cannot go to our landfill.
You know, the appliances would have to go,
Yeah,
the pre-owned would have to be out of the first.
and
would
it
have to
says,
go there.
they're gonna take it to Benito. In the quote.
Well, we may have to load the fridge up and take it somewhere. If it's
Yeah.
no good, have to take it, get it decommissioned and.
Okay, so we change our mind about moving ahead. Do we want to find out more first?
Well, better ask them, I don't know. I don't
Well,
wanna
if we have
wait
to
and-
take the fridge
Oh, yeah.
up, it's $50 to take it, to get it decommissioned. I think it used to be, I don't know what it is.
It might be more, but it won't be.
No,
Worst case, be 100.
just if they get it out of there, what the heck.
Okay, so.
So I think we should just do it and get her
Yeah.
done. I don't know, what do you think, Byron?
Yeah, get it done.
It's 1/3 of the price of our previous quote, so.
Well, we need to get moving on with something with that place.
Let the spring air in.
What's the yard look like there? Does it need quite a bit of work too, or
There'll be some. We did some with Public Works, but there's gonna need to be
is
some
the
more done.
shed still there?
It is.
Ice fishing shack, eh?
Be resolved, the quote for cleaning the tax sale house in Benito from Total Clean Swan Valley be accepted. Who'd like to make that resolution? Councillor Blosha, who'd like a second? Councillor McGregor. Any further discussion? Hearing nothing, we'll call a question. Those in favor? That's carried. Radio repairs and replacement, there's a quote here. I'm just gonna leave that. We'll go to budgeting and come back to it, but there's a quote there of what radios cost. Kendall Hall repairs.
Yeah. Those. I'm over
Councillor
here.
Kushniryk is indicated as leaving the meeting while we discuss this. So council discussed this in camera last time around, it's here in the public view this time. We've received one quote for repairing the roof of the Kendall Hall. I did go to seek out other quotes, so I had Mr. Jones go there to give us a quote on it, and I said, you know, like, we don't want to spend a huge amount of money, what are we gonna do? So we did go look. He said he would be at least 100,000 or more, and he chose in the end not to provide a quote. So I need some direction if I want to go further afield to look for more quotes, or what we want to do.
I think we need to look for more.
Okay? Do you have some suggestions of who I should send out there next? I kind of thought he would be the one. He's right there, close and
Yes.
easy. And
So we're fixing rafters,
yes,
floor joists,
floor joists are pretty good on the bottom. Fixing rafters and pulling the wall in.
2x8s are used for what?
Rafters.
Rafters?
Can I name some people or?
Yeah, or just give us a list later. And we'll
Later,
just,
yeah,
we'll
maybe.
just, whoever you guys think of, I'll call them all and we'll just.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like
So
what we
this
did
is-
with Andrews, I gave him a key and said, go look and.
so he's
figure
the
it
only
out.
one that looked at it then?
Yeah.
He's the one.
Is
Yeah.
that-
Okay, well, maybe so. Can you,
Is that the,
Should our building inspector not have a look at it?
okay, well,
Well, just, isn't that kind of what he used to do too?
yeah, yeah.
But I know he would never,
Do
Do
it,
it,
but he might
but
have,
maybe give
he
us
might
some-
say this would work or this won't work.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
He could also give us a general idea of what he thinks it would cost, eh?
yeah, yeah, just even without him doing it.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I just think, well, we have him there, let's.
That's right, let's use them.
Okay, we'll do that too. Can you recall Mr. Kushniryk?
Yeah.
Of course you did. 911, transfer of standing charges to tax roll, whereas various invoices remain unpaid, therefore be it resolved the following invoice amounts be moved to taxes. Roll 83700, $100. Roll 198 300, $750. Roll 73400, $900. Is there someone to move the resolution? Councillor Burick, does someone wish to second the resolution? Going once. Oh, there we go, Councillor McGregor. So attached to the private view is the details of each of these charges. So one charge relates to a dog running at large fine. That's the $100 charge for roll 83700. Then on the roll 198 300, it's a building permit application that for some reason was issued without payment. They came and picked up the permit but never actually paid for it. And it also includes dumpster rental that they asked for but then did not pay for. So it is that going to taxes. And then roll 73400 is dogs running at large fines from January. Is there questions and discussion? If there is, it may need to go in camera, but let me know what you're thinking.
No.
Anybody here want to discuss any of that more? Like, you're welcome to discuss it, you're welcome to just do it. But if you want to discuss it, probably some of the discussion would have to go in camera. Because it relates to fines. Okay? We'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. 912, this is attached for information. Earlier today, we received the demand for school taxes for 2026. This year, the Municipality of Swan Valley West is required to provide $4,330,669 to the Swan Valley School Division, which is a rough increase of about $1.3 million over the amount we provided last year. So you'll see school taxes go up substantially on your municipal tax bill this year. But again, it's here because the entire thing we have to do with it is we get this one page that tells us what we have to charge, and we're legally required to charge them.
Can't the public go, do they have an open house?
They did.
They did, or, well,
3 of them, or, well, maybe not for the budget, but
for the budget, I mean.
Budget, yeah, it was a few days ago they had.
Was it a big turnout?
Oh, I don't imagine so.
Cause like, I mean,
I wasn't there either, but I don't,
well,
did everybody there?
I wasn't there either, but shouldn't that be questioned? Like how do you get a 30% increase when, like, for what?
less provincial funding for the schools.
Unless they lost provincial funding.
I don't think they really lost any provincial funding, but things are certainly costing more.
Yeah, but I mean, not 30% more.
Yes, one of the big issues the schools are facing is the unified contract now. So teachers here are not getting paid the same as they're being paid in Winnipeg. And, you know, certainly the provincial increase did not cover the increase in teacher salaries the province was forcing them to pay.
So you're
There's
saying,
other things too. I
So you-
don't mean to represent
Yeah.
the school division's views,
So-
but I know that's one of the issues.
cause that's a ridiculous amount.
It's a lot.
Like, I mean, if it was 3%, 5% rate of inflation, but I mean, 30%, like, how do you explain that? Did they hire a third more teachers or something? I thought they cut down on teachers last year. EAs and teachers.
Best answer I can give is at the last municipal election, there were several seats at the school board that nobody ran for. They had to appoint people to the school board to get a full board. If people have concerns about their school taxes, best place to start is getting elected to the school board.
Well, as long as they make it clear that it's not us.
Well, they don't say that.
No.
Like on the tax bill, it shows, you know, as
Yeah, I know,
always,
I know,
it shows
I know.
municipal, it shows school,
I
but
know, but
a lot of people struggle because they look at the bottom number.
that's it.
And they blame us for the whole thing.
That's what I'm saying. So as long as they know where that increase comes from.
That's why it's on the agenda tonight, just to
Good.
point out how much increase there is. And that there's nothing we can do about that. It just is what it is. Let's do committee reports before we go to budgeting, and then we'll try and do that at the end at a weird time. We'll start with Councillor Zbirun.
Committee had a vet board meeting. And I would discuss the rest of it in camera.
Ooh, cool. Okay, anything else?
Nope, that's
Okay. Can you write that down so we don't forget it later? I want to hear that story. Councillor Neely.
No, there's been nothing. I'm surprised there hasn't been an airport meeting, but there's been one for quite some time now. Usually sometime in January, February, but
Councillor McGregor. Councillor Burick.
Well, I attended the Benito Rec Center a meeting with the Reeve as well. And that's one meeting that I always like to attend. I've attended, this is probably the third one,
I think so.
and you know what? How I see how they work together, everybody works together there, and they do their best. And like, I mean, he went through the budget, not the budget, the monthly financial plan, and a lot of discussion about end of the skating year and that, but they're having a big celebration, 50th anniversary of the arena. It's going to be a fish fry on April 11th, and there's going to be tickets sold. You can maybe report on that, your motor tickets and that. One thing they requested, and it's up for, we have to discuss it, is they want an extra dumpster, right?
I do.
Because the one dumpster that they have is not enough. It packs too full, too quick or whatever, and
When they have events. it's
yeah,
not
so if they, and we thought, well, I mean, I thought there wouldn't be an issue, but do we have an extra one that we can discuss it later, I guess?
I haven't checked yet. I believe we do. The question is how serviceable it is.
Right,
You know, if the
Right.
wheels are good or not.
yeah,
We also talked about locking the second dumpster.
that too, yeah,
So only when it was needed.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to empty both every time.
right.
Just if the first one got full, then they'd use the second one.
So like I say, that's the only thing that they had requested, but they said if we could supply them with an extra dumpster, that they'd have more room for waste. But other than that, it was a very good meeting. The next meeting, like I say, is March 30th is what they recommended, because April 6th is the weekend, Easter weekend or whatever. And yeah, no, it was good. And like I say, April 11th is the big celebration for the 50th anniversary of the building. So they're planning a big fish fry. That's it.
Councillor Blosha.
No meetings.
Councillor Kushniryk. Oh, let me get my list. I think it was fairly calm. So yesterday, we invested quite a lot of the day into an HR matter that'll be discussed later. On Friday, we held that safety meeting, which we talked about a little earlier on. Back into earlier in the week, I met with the folks that are doing the drawings for the fire garage in Benito. And we got on the right track again. So we'll see how that progresses this time around. We had an issue with the alarm system here. The vendor that we had been purchasing it from sold their company to SecureTech. And then the alarm stopped working. So we called SecureTech because they're now the people that look after it, and they said, oh, we don't support alarms like that anymore. You'll have to call this other company, they'll come fix it. So they quoted us $200 to come out and tell us that they don't support the alarm anymore. And then they could just sell us a new alarm. And we said, well, that's not really what we had in mind. It worked good up until the day it got sold. Can't we just make it work? And they refused wholeheartedly. So we asked if we had to keep paying them, and the answer was no. So we stopped paying them, and we moved the alarm over to another provider. So we don't have to pay all that money to get somebody to come out here and sell us a new alarm system. At the Benito water plant, we've done much of the upgrading now. We've got the new phones in, the phone line is out, so we're not paying the $90 a month there anymore. It's all connected up. I was to the library. They had a similar problem with their alarm system. It is now moved as well. I went to, we haven't met this month. On the 27th of February, I went to a fire call with the Benito Fire Department. In Benito, it was a chimney fire call. So I attended that and basically spent the night there with them for an hour or so. As I went through that, put some people in my vehicle to keep them warm because we were having trouble keeping people warm, so we got through that pretty good. But it was kind of nice to just be out with the guys and see how they were doing and what works well and what doesn't, and the things they, when they're on scene, they come up with ideas of, oh, if we did this different. It's kind of neat to hear that stuff sometimes. Back into the 26th of February, I spent some time over at medical recruitment. You'll recall that they had a tender out for the financial administration of the medical recruitment committee. There were 2 bids received. A bid from Swan Valley West for $900 a year to do all of the financial work. And a bid was also received from the Municipality of Mountain to do 10 hours of financial work per year for free with a fee for the additional hours, but the fee for the additional hours was not included in the bid. Neither was an estimate of how much time it would take to do it. The committee has 8 members. There were 4 members present at the meeting. The chair ruled that 4 members out of 8 is quorum. So the meeting continued with 4 members present as quorum in an 8-member committee. Your math might be different than mine, but I believe 5 is the
Five.
requirement.
5.
And the assembled members selected Mountain as the financial services provider for the group because they felt it will be cheaper. I don't make the news, folks, I just report it. They are now issuing a tender for the office duties of the group. But it hasn't come out yet. We'll see how that one turns out. Into Wednesday, the 25th of February, fire committee, Brad and I were there. I think Byron was a little busy. Met with what we thought was 1 or 2 firefighters. Turned out to be most of them. And we had it at the office in Benito, thinking that we could not be a 3.5-hour meeting if we had it at the office instead of the fire hall. No, that doesn't work. Still 3.5-hour meeting. We had a real good discussion about a lot of things. So we looked at the plans for the fire garage. And I thought that night we were on the right track, but I'm more convinced than ever we're on the right track this time for the amount we want to spend. We also talked about some concerns that some of us had about the fire call we had in Alpine of when the water was ordered. So I've explained at length that our expectation is if they're attending a structure fire, they will order water the moment they are dispatched to the structure fire. They will not drive to the fire first to see how bad it is. They'll just order water. And if they don't need it, that's fine. Because we'd rather send water back than sit there waiting for it. So I think they'll be making that change. We also talked about the fire radios. So they have two-way radios, the cheap version that we use, that they talk between firefighters with. They've been having a bit of trouble with them, so we're going to have someone come out and check the programming on them and make sure they're right. But they also have a few of those really expensive radios that talk to 911. And as it turns out, one of those radios is missing. But we know where it is. So I offered the services of the CAO to go and recover the radio from the member of the fire department that has it. They declined. They will recover it themselves. So I asked that they do that soon. And if the recovery doesn't go well, then we'll enlist the CAO to go recover the radio, because she'd probably be a lot better at getting it back. And we'll get that back into circulation and get it used again. We did that EMO meeting we touched on a little bit before. We met for about an hour and a half here. It was a very good meeting. We talked about a lot of things. We had the three of the municipalities in the room, so we're sharing stuff between municipalities too, along with the province, which was kind of nice. We're talking more and more about tabletop exercise for here. We haven't done that, we're supposed to. So Swan River has, Mountain has, but we're going to head into trying to start to organize that for our council, to put us all in a room one night and actually run through what would we do in an emergency and do some of that planning to make sure our systems work like we should. We went over some of the stuff we're doing internally, trying to get ready for that point, because we probably aren't very ready, but we're getting better. And that brings us back to the last meeting. Anything around the table, questions, comments, discussion on any of that stuff? If not, let's start talking about some budget stuff. Now, I've printed out everything to do with the budget, because I know a lot of us, paper is easier when we're budgeting. So I want to start with the Gade Fire Department tonight. It's a sheet that looks like this. In the package. If you're lucky, yours is red, but I think everybody else is black and white like mine. So I did, when we had that meeting with the fire department, we were talking about budgeting and such. And I said, you know, we're waiting for your budget, it's due. And we gave them a deadline, and they met the deadline and brought us a proposed budget. So these numbers are not necessarily the same as what our sheet had, and if we go back, our big sheets all the way back to services, page 5. We had left some of that waiting to hear from the Gade Fire Department, so we can fill that in a bit tonight. And what we need to decide here is how we feel about these numbers they are proposing, and if that's what we want to approve or if we want to vary it. So we're starting off on this page 4. So it actually starts on page 4. The Gade Fire Department salaries last year was budgeted for $15,000. We had spent just a touch over $11,090. They are suggesting that budget be raised to $20,000. What are our feelings on that?
Which number is that?
Right, page 4,
Page 4, where?
Page 4.
right about here.
Right there, solid, yeah, I see that, okay, okay.
So what's 15? They're suggesting it increase to 20. What are the thoughts of the groups?
I guess so, be on the safe side.
What would make you think that you gotta go up 5,000 when you were down 5,000?
They hourly compared to other places, they're way low.
Okay, well that,
Really?
like, that's what I wanna hear,
Yeah.
like, why? Why?
So Minnetonka's right now, firefighters are $30 an hour.
Okay,
In Benito, they're not.
okay,
And so we haven't brought that forward as a discussion here yet of what are we going to do, but that was kind of the thinking, was if we're thinking of making any changes to that to bring them in line with Minnetonka's, it would
Okay.
take more money.
no, well then I see why the need for that is, but I just wondered what.
Okay? I'm trying to keep up on my page here, which I'm not 15.
So we're gonna up it to 20?
Yeah. Okay, so I believe we go after that to page 5, right? No, well, one more on page 4. Fire equipment insurance contract services. So that budget was $4,000 last year. We had spent $8,400. they're recommending an increase to 5,000.
Yeah, I would say put it at 5 then.
And then we're moving to page 5.
Two lines down.
Page 4.
Oh, okay. I will eventually get this. Remember how you guys like it on paper? I like it on my screen. Okay, so fire memberships and advertising. Budget last year was 500, they're recommending staying at that 500. I imagine that's an easy sell. Emergency measure contract services. So that budget was 2,000. We're not spending a lot of that. They're suggesting leaving it 2,000. We had already cut that to 500 in our budgeting process. So we're good with leaving the 500. I
Yeah.
presume. Okay. Manitoba fire utilities. Oh, now our budget was $6,000. We spent $5,800 last year. They're suggesting it remains at $6,000. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, and we kind of said that, leave
Okay.
it.
What page are you on, Bill?
We're now
Five.
moving
It
to
was five,
top
five,
line.
right at the top, right at the very top.
Oh, at the
Five.
top here.
Okay, and then we go down to the next little section, of fire department materials and supplies. We had budgeted 12,000, they spent 11,000, they're suggesting that be increased to 20,000.
Reasoning?
Is that because of the new fire hall?
I don't believe it relates to that, I think they were looking at doing, those nozzles and maybe a pump as well. They wanted to have something to pump water from ponds to the truck, a little better than what they have now. What do you think?
You don't think 15 would be good, or up it by 3?
20, I think they want.
Yeah, they want 20.
Doesn't mean we have to do that.
Well, what are we putting it in?
Well, it
We
was
had
at 12.
and they spent 13,
Oh, we haven't decided yet.
No.
or 11,
Question,
3.
yeah, we spent 11.
11, 3.
So you wanna move it up some, all the way, part way, what would you like to do?
15? 15?
15 work for the group?
Split the difference of 16.
Okay, we have somebody offering 16, what do we think about 16?
Yeah.
16 then? 16?
Okay,
Okay.
fuel, fire equipment, maintenance and fuel. That was budgeted at 3,000 last year, they're suggesting go to 3,500, the spending was only 1,200.
I think we leave it at 3.
Okay. Fire equipment repair, budget last year was 3,000, they're suggesting leaving it at 3,000.
Yeah, leave it.
Okay. Fire department small tools, budget was 2,000, they're suggesting increase to 2,500.
That's double of what they actually used only.
It is. Some of the discussion we had that night, how do I say this in a politically correct way? So we talked about how it's their responsibility as management of that fire department when they have a budget to determine what they have to spend and what their priorities are and to buy the things they need. Not to come here every week saying, can we buy this, can we buy that? They have a full management structure there, they have a chief, they have captains, they have a plan. They need to have their meetings and they need to fall within what's here. So if you have a $2,000 budget and then you say, but we only spent 1,200, well, that's because you didn't spend the other $800 of it. And we expect the fire department to know best what to spend. So I think part of why they were suggesting an increase on a couple of these things was they found that there was some freedom in that because they believed that they had to come here for every single thing every single time. And we said, but you don't. Make your plans. You have to figure this out. We're not firefighters, you are. So I think that's kind of why they're thinking of increasing a few things. Ultimately, it was $2,000. Do you want to leave it at 2,000 or do you wish to increase it to the 2,500 they're asking for?
Maybe increase it to 500,
If they
not
need
much.
it, if they need it,
2,500.
then
Okay, 2,500. Fire call water supplies, they're suggesting a budget of 10. Our budget for that, was it not?
6.
6.
Yeah, it was 6. So this doesn't just catch Benito. This is all water that goes to all fire calls in Swan Valley West. So most of this water isn't actually being used at Benito. It's being used where the calls are higher, closer to Swan River. And that really is just a matter of how the fire season goes. Some days it's good, some days it's not.
But it's like you said, if they are making a water call, as soon as their price is gonna go up, right?
Yep. What would you like to do?
Weren't we gonna get
Did we get
the whole water with?
Yes.
Did we get that truck?
We'll probably need to discuss that part in camera.
Okay.
Well, that would affect this figure, right?
They're very concerned about that truck.
Oh. Well, if the truck sitting off to the side, we should put this up a little bit, I think.
Probably. What
Go
do
to
you
8?
suggest?
Want to go to 8?
Oh,
Well,
no,
we spent 10.
6?
We spent 11 last
already.
year.
Just put it at
And they're
10.
asking 10.
we spent
Put it up.
11 last year and they're asking for 10.
Yeah, so we put it at 10, I guess, eh?
Well, 10 or 12.
I
We
would
spent
say
11 last year.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Put it at 10.
10 is the consensus?
10, okay,
Okay, let's go with 10.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're out a little bit at the end of
Trust
the
me, we
year.
know how to overspend the budget. We're not gonna not order water if the budget's empty. Fire training.
1,000,
I would leave
they're
that.
saying at 1,000.
It's here.
That's the same as last year's budget.
Okay,
We
yeah,
spent-
yeah. Okay, 1,000 versus that, so it stays 1,000. Okay, are we good with the Benito fire numbers then?
Yep.
Okay. Let us go back to the next page, or do you have those answers with you, the questions from previous? Okay, let's, where's the first one? Remember we said a few things we want to know more about? Let's go back and do those over here. Page 3 is the start of that. That first question was,
So 122, Valley West Office Contract Services,
okay, so that was a budget of 30, we'd spent 31, and we wondered what was in there.
and that's the biggest thing.
Okay, so, a couple answers. One is that Munisoft annual maintenance for 2 years ended up in the 1 year. So both for 25 and 26 ended up in the 2025 year. So that is a $7,000 difference because it wasn't one in each year. In that category also is Catalyst, which is the software we're using for the meeting, is $4,800. There was $3,000 for that additional Munisoft purchase we approved a few months back for the receipting and such. That also contains the office cleaning at $50 a cleaning. It has a little bit of Spruce Country computers in there for when they do office stuff. There's a Purelator in there. I believe it looks like there's also, oh no, it was credit out. The charges for the recording of meetings were in there. They're in the right place after. The fees for the photocopier go in there. And that is most of the biggest things in the Unisoft to the Catalyst. Ticket items in that category. So it would be fair to say that even though it was 31.5 last year, it would likely be lower than that this year because the Munisoft was in there twice. So it could come down a little bit, it definitely does not need to go up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it could come down a bit, right?
Or would it be 20?
I don't know if you get to 20, you might get to 23 or 24.
You were a $7,000 double charge, right?
Yeah, so it'll be $7,000 less because of that. So you could go to 23 pretty easily.
23?
Yeah.
5,
Well, that's line 510 200-122.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes. So 20, sorry, it's 23 we said. Okay, what was the next one?
Line 201,
201.
and that's the postage.
Okay, so office supplies, most of that is postage. Which obviously goes to, the vast majority of that goes to mailing out the tax notices. So Canada Post, there was, you remember back in February last year, when we bought stamps before the rate increased that 1 week? So that week, we managed to spend $4,000 on postage. But then there wasn't spending on postage for almost all of the rest of the year. because we had those stamps on hand. There's a little bit of stuff here for the co-op, for the water and such. There's some 330 paper and gifts, some Star and Times for envelopes. Some keys got cut. Going right north for a bit of freight. But that's mostly what's in there.
So can we keep that at what it is then? Like we went over, but you said that was because we bought all those extra stamps?
How many of those stamps do we have left?
We're buying stamps now.
There's your answer first. And stamps cost more now.
Yeah, no, I know, I just wondered. We also missed,
We had a question on 206.
Okay, can we just settle the office supplies?
yeah,
What are we doing with it? It was at 10, is it staying there? Is it
Yeah.
going someplace?
We're gonna stay at 10, I think.
Stays at 10?
Yep.
Okay, which one would you miss?
206, we had a question mark there.
Okay.
It's just in a different place.
So AMM membership was paid, but it's not showing in that
Right.
category like it should be.
But it was,
We do pay it, and we paid $36.75.
so it stays at 4 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
and we didn't actually, did we put anything in the election?
Election contract services, 510,200.
I didn't look that
I had started, so,
Okay, no, we haven't looked that up yet.
okay, that's okay.
Back to the AMM one, though, where did it get paid? That'll affect that one.
Do you know
one.
what
Yeah,
it was?
I have a number for that.
Okay.
That's further on from where we were.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not yet.
okay. Was there anything else before we go to? Oh, fire board was here, we'll look up what we actually passed for that. That has to get put in. So I think we're good to go
This
to,
one, you were concerned about.
oh, council supplies.
Yeah, I had a question.
Christmas party
Okay,
is why
okay,
it's so high.
okay.
I can also advise, I did the calculations, we have the live budget here tonight, so you see me desperately typing it in. What we looked at last time and didn't know the answer was the repairs. So all those lines for all those different units for maintenance and repairs. Last year, the total amount of those all added together was 276,000. This year, after our changes, it's 257,000. So we've cut that repair budget by $20,000. The actual spending on that last year was $385,000. But presumably it wouldn't be this high this year because a lot of that maintenance is now done. But just so you have those numbers. I believe we're going to page 8, Environment Health Services. Is that where we all think we're at? Good job. Five, 4, 0, 100. There we go. All right, so in here we have landfill wages. That is captured elsewhere, so there's no need to budget there. Landfill wages spare, same deal, we don't need a budget. Garbage collection wages, Benito, that is an LED line, so they worry about that, that just charges it to the people of Benito. Landfill cell phone mileage, so we do use a cell phone there, but we're also having Mark, he drives his personal vehicle there from Benito. So that's why there's mileage, we should put something in that budget, because it will continue to be spent. We spent 1,400 last year. It's a good chance to be around that this year. It's 1,400 agreeable.
Yep.
He wasn't here the full year last year.
Okay, so should be more.
I think he started in May, April, May.
16,
And fuel's going like crazy.
It's gonna go down.
18.
It's gonna go back.
1,600, 1,800, what do we think?
16, yeah.
1,600?
Yeah.
Okay. Recycle program, Swan River, we had budgeted, what is that? That's gotta be the golf course. I'm thinking, it'll be the dumpster we have at the golf course. Do you wanna leave it at 2,500, do you wanna trim it a little bit, cause it don't quite cost that much?
Let's put it at 2. What do you
Okay.
think?
Fine by me.
Kind of a set thing.
Yeah.
Okay, 2,000. Landfill courses, exams and registration, We had budget of 500, I don't believe we have anyone taking that this year. Do you want to leave it at 500 in case? Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
367 on page 8, I had a question mark beside that. Why is that difference like that?
Over gravel pits?
Gravel pits is budgeted for 10,000 and the year to date is 851.
We don't know the answer
All
yet.
this is
Oh.
our lease fees.
It's the lease fees for
It's,
Alpine.
So should it be that high?
No.
No.
What line are you on, Brian?
But we wanted to know what it
367,
actually was.
367 on page 8.
So that could
That's
come
why
down
we
to
started.
What's that?
That's why we started, because we wanted to know exactly how much it should be.
Okay, so it could probably go to $1,000?
Yeah, I
Is that
think so.
agreeable?
Okay,
Maybe that's what it was even supposed to be,
Just
and
a
it got
typo.
typed that way.
Could be. Okay, so now we're changing pages. Top of page 9. Recycling pickup, Benito, budgeted 16, spent 15,820, which looks like we're probably on the right track with 16.
Yeah.
It's fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
Recycling pickup landfills, budgeted 7, spent 7673. Do you want to raise it up to cover that?
and we better make it 8.
Okay.
8,
8,000. Bill landfill taxes, budget 500, spent 210. That'll be the lease on the landfill. It could come down to 250 likely.
Yeah.
Bill landfill RARs and MMSM levies, budget 2,500. We paid more. Was that catching some up, or is it just actually costing that much more? I think it's just costing that much
I
more.
think it would just be costing.
Yeah. So you're probably going to spend that again this year.
With 5.
Yeah.
go to 5?
That is the fee they charge us for putting garbage in our own landfill. In case you guys don't know how it works, we get a credit back for anything we recycle. For anything we put in the landfill, we pay the province a fee for.
How did they come up with that number?
We can either weigh every single vehicle going to the landfill, or we can say what population of our catchment area uses it, and they use a generated number of
they
how
have
many
it.
kilograms per person you make of garbage a year.
Okay.
We don't have a scale, so we do the second way. Landfill Swan River, right now, there's nothing, the budget for it. Shared Services Committee hasn't given us much hope that there's something coming anytime soon. So we'll leave it where it is, I suppose. Landfill Bozeman, that is much the same. Now, we're picking up that recycling there. We have our own dumpsters now, so we just pick them up. So I don't think there's really a charge there anymore.
No.
No, so it's pretty much zero right now, because it's all captured just in our wages and such. Rural well expense, that is for the community well. I know we actually spent about $200 on it last year that didn't get captured here, it must have gone someplace else, but I would suggest we leave it at 5, just in case. New landfill materials, now this one's, we had budgeted a lot there for doing the expansion work, and we spent some of it, you'll see that was actually captured down on a different line. That obviously should come down.
Yeah.
We will still have to dig a cell this year at some point though, if it gets approved. We spent some time on the phone yesterday with the folks about that. There's certainly no timeline for when that gets approved. If the landfill gets full before the cell gets built, we're then trucking it to Swan River. So anyone want to make a best guess on what we put in that line?
That's just material we have to haul in there.
Well, this was budgeted originally, when we budgeted the 125 last year, was to dig a new hole and put the leachate pond in, but the hole's not dug. The engineer doesn't yet have the plan for the hole.
It won't get done this year then.
It's gonna be tight, but the old hole is almost full. The old hole's gonna be full. Before the end of summer, we won't be able to put garbage there. We're gonna end up hauling it someplace
How
else.
much do we figure to dig a new hole?
We do the digging ourselves, it'll probably be a few $1,000s. But there'll be engineering fees on top of that for, having them come out and make sure we dug the right hole.
We better put something in here in some case.
50?
How's 50 hit everybody?
That's a good figure.
50?
Well, in case we have to haul it too, because we're gonna have to pay to put it there.
For sure. Okay. Durban landfill, there's no budget, that line will be removed eventually because it's done. Landfill closure, post-closure costs. We're required to budget for that every year, so the $5,000 has to be there. It's a provincial thing. Dumpsters, maintenance and supplies. We spent about 426 looking after our dumpsters. We spent 150 fairly near the end of the year. Do you want to put anything in there?
500?
Sure. Landfill expansion costs, we're not gonna budget on that line, but that catches what we've spent there. That includes the costs of that engineer we had working on it already, plus the upgrading we did. Down to social welfare assistance, that is required payment to the province. We should probably leave it about 6,500 if everyone's okay.
Yeah,
Birchwood Cemetery is in the shared services category of not agreed to. We budgeted basically nothing for it. Benito Cemetery, Bozeman, Alpine, Riverside, Durban Cemetery, Fairdale Cemetery are all budgeted at $500.
I say leave all that.
Durban Cemetery is again requesting the columbarium. Just so you're aware, I told them I would make sure I mentioned it to council. It has been mentioned.
and any other word on that, what their plans are for that?
They just think they should have one.
They what?
They want to have one, and they think we should pay for it.
Oh,
Well, here's 500 toward it.
What they would like us to do is buy it and then charge the people that use it to recoup the money. You know, so eventually we would get the money back, but we'd pay the cash out ahead of time and then as we sold the spaces in it.
would it be in a building or is it an outside thing?
It's outside. Have any of you been to the Durban Cemetery since they did all the work there this year? It's very nice.
Been by, it looks nice.
It's worth stopping in. They've got a building there, it's open to the public. You can go in and see stuff. It's pretty good. Maybe not right now, but once the snow melts, it'll be better. So we'll probably just leave that request for now, if that's fine with everybody. Physician recruitment, census will change here, but not until next spring, so that'll be the correct amount, the 44,144. Do you wanna go right to the exact penny, or do you wanna leave it at 45,000?
I would leave it at the
Okay.
45.
Doctor clinics, we don't at the moment have any doctor clinics running, so those are still zero-ish. Grants and contributions, these are grants that were not caught anywhere else. We don't generally budget for it, but occasionally it's put in there.
That's what it says.
Oh, it's the Swan Valley Animal Protection League taxes.
Oh,
That's
right,
Yes.
yes.
So if you're planning to do
Let's-
that, we should put that
Yeah, we
back
should
in
put
there.
that back in there.
2,500,
Yep.
Yeah,
How much to?
25.
2,500.
Yeah.
Planning district contract services. Planning district, we don't have the budget for 2026. It won't be higher though, I can assure you that. So it probably could stay the same. Budget was 73. We actually spent 8,000 on it. I don't think it needs to be more. Like you could go to 7.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm sure that would be fine. Because they are not spending money like they used to. Planning zoning monuments, budgeted 10. We actually only spent 2,900, which is nice, because some years it gets out of hand. You could cut it some, but you know, we have certainly seen years that we spend 10 on it. It just depends on who needs monuments put back when they do land. What would you like to do?
5?
Leave it. Leave it.
I
Leave
think
it?
you better
Leave it?
leave.
This is when they have to resurvey it, so I think I ask this every year, but
To leave it then?
Yeah, I
And
think
if-
you better leave
new
it.
markers for corner posts and stuff.
If it's just 1 or 2, we pay the full cost. Once it's to a certain number of it, the province starts helping us with it. But,
So leave it at 10?
okay. Beautification, rehabilitation. $2,000 budget, we spent none of it last year.
I find that hard to believe because we bought flowers
I
and did
know.
all that, so it must be in
Different
another
color.
line. So
color.
I know we spent some.
Okay. Well, I see the next page is, yeah, that shows that's the Benito flowers.
Yeah,
for
but we did
657.
put Kenville and Durban.
sure, yeah.
So,
Okay, so it'll be caught in that 2,000 then. And
Yeah.
we won't budget anything for those, that's good go. Rural weed control, contracted courses, $800. Leaving it the same or changing it? Spent nothing last year, but
better leave
we
it.
do have a weed control officer, so it could be something comes up. Conservation district at large, Budget was 48, we spent 38. I don't know that we've heard the budget from them yet, but it probably will be in that same range. Anyone have ideas that's on that board?
Nobody,
Byron, you guys had heard nothing?
No.
Right. We should probably just leave it then for now, and we'll see if we get an accurate number in time to put it in there. Veterinary services, is your in-camera stuff about their budget?
No.
Okay, so it was 9,500, we spent 92.19, probably staying at 9,500.
Yeah.
Rise, we budgeted 20, we spent 17,295. I would suggest we leave the 20 there. I don't know what Rise is doing. They have a meeting in 2 weeks' time to discuss. Immigrant services budgeted 4, spent 4, should probably stay at 4. We've done that for many years. Parkland tourism's $300 for many years. Chamber of Commerce, we budgeted 3, spent 2,500, but we did not spend on the Parkland tourism ad that goes in there because they didn't publish the book, but they are this year, so we should likely stay the 3. Tourism Benito, that is a function of the LUD, so that's their problem to deal with. Utility signs in Benito, that also catches the campground electricity. Budget 1,000, only spent 624. The lights are burnt out though. That's probably why it went down. We have to change the bulbs. So leave the 1,000. Or is it you want to change?
No,
No,
it's
you
good.
better leave
Good.
Public rec, urban materials and supplies. This is things like the skate park and such. Budget of 500, did not spend it. Are you leaving 500 or changing it?
No, you better leave it.
I might need something for the,
Because that would actually go, some of that could go also to the splash park and
Splash
that.
Park,
You know.
Okay, 580, 200, 121, indoor swimming pool. Current budget is $0. Does anyone want to make a proposal to pay money into the indoor pool?
Yeah, leave it.
Alright, budget stays the same. Video Recreation Center, this was budgeted for 60,000, this is their insurance is what was caught in that. But, we have entered into an agreement with them to also pay the utilities. The insurance was a touch lower than that last year, it was really 50 something. The utilities are gonna be about $40,000 at the high end, could be 35 at the lower end. What do you want to budget for Video Rec Center?
does that not just go under hydro? Are we not just gonna put that under our hydro expense?
It will show up on a line someplace in here as utilities, because every utility is split out.
Oh,
Because the shops and things all get into their own little categories for utilities.
So you think 90 is safe?
95, you say?
90, 95, somewhere in there.
You said 30, how much for utilities, 35?
I would think 35 to 40. 40 would be the top end. I doubt it'll get to 40. You know, because I think they paid January, we paid February on, so it's going to be a little lower anyway.
So 95?
What say the group? 95?
yeah.
Okay. Centennial Arena, budget is $0.
Oh, we got 95 of our own now, so.
Right. Parks, playgrounds, and campgrounds. We spent $280 on that.
That was just cleaning.
That was cleaning the septic tank at the Benito campground.
I wonder if that shouldn't have come out of that.
$500.
Yeah, really.
Possibly. Oh, this is contract services with everyone's materials. So, you want to just leave it at $0, or do you want to put something
Put
in there?
$500 in there.
500,
Yeah, probably need to do it again anyway.
likely. Northwest Regional Library, I would suggest the 70,000 is fine. Benito Splash Park. So this is for utilities at the Splash Park. This will be the hydro bill there, and whatever happens with us billing a little bit of water to it. So we should put something there.
And that was only for a very short time.
The 632 with the hydro went in August, so it's about $30 a month for hydro plus whatever use, but it doesn't use much hydro. So there must be, what else? That would be some deposit or something maybe.
Connection fees.
Oh, it could be connection fee.
Something to do with the
Yeah.
So do you
construction of
think
it?
if we put
Must be.
500 in there, it'd be enough?
Could be. I
Or
don't think-
1,000?
Yeah, it'd be terribly much. 500?
Yep.
Yeah, let's,
Okay, now I see here we have the Benito District Rec Center utilities. Now that's probably where we should have captured that. So I'm gonna move from that 95, I'm gonna keep the 60 where it was, and put
60.
35.
And put 35 there.
Yeah. And make
60.
it
Yeah.
so it's in the right spot. Kenville Community Arena, at current, there's not a lot of spending going on there, so budget of 0 is probably fine. Kenville Memorial Hall. Oh, there it is down. Oh, mine are slightly different. Okay, so let's do parks, playground, campground materials first. Budget 1,000, spending 1,100, and I'll leave it 1,000.
Yeah.
We got some extra sand and stuff for
Yeah.
Kendall, I think we were gonna do.
And even Benito needs some new sand.
Yeah.
So should we go up a bit?
1500.
1,500.
1,500 you said?
That's on,
Parks, playground, camping materials.
1,500.
Disc golf's at 0, are we okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Swan River Parks and Ski Trails. That's at 0. So on my list, I have Kenville Memorial Hall, and I do not.
It's here.
It's
Is it?
done.
Oh, it's up there.
3
Okay.
down now.
Okay. There we go. My list is so different.
Durban.
So I'm
Durban's-
showing we spent $17.91 on it in 2026, which is the hydro bill so far.
That's Big Woody.
No, that's Kenville. See, this is showing, what we're, on this paper, it's showing 2025 spending, which is
Yeah.
0. But because we started spending the hydro now, on my sheet, it's showing there's spending this year on it. For Kenville Memorial Hall,
So we're leaving Durban at 2, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a
Yeah.
new door, right? Or this past year, that's right.
Well, no, we always give them 2.
No, but I mean, we.
The more,
reason it was
yes, yes,
17
yes,
was
yes,
it,
yes.
yeah. Or 11.
10,
Oh, I get it. So I have it on my list twice. So I have the utilities account, which is not on here because I've added it. And then I have this, the general donation. So the general donation to Memorial Hall and Kenville's gonna be 0, right? So we're not giving the board
No.
any money.
Right.
But the utilities that you don't see, I need to put something on the utilities line here. What was the deposit for it? Cause that was 2 months of the worst utilities. Like $6,000 is gonna pay the utilities, I think, isn't it? I think we should be putting 6 in there.
And where is that line?
It's
We don't
not
have
on
it.
this paper. It's 580, 300, 145. It's
Oh,
under Kenville Community Arena, under utilities. It goes in there.
Okay. Well, you'll just add that.
Yeah. It shows up in the electronic version, but this was printed before that. Okay, so that gets us down to Big Woody Community Center. That was way high because we did that roof for them, but we'll leave
Okay,
it at 2.
but let's go back here to
Okay, which one?
the one at the very end. What we don't, why are Kenville Community Arena, why are we budgeting there?
I have it as a 0 budget.
0.
Oh, well, mine shows
2,500.
2,500.
2,500.
Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so does yours.
Oh, so we have it
Oh, I'm
twice.
looking up
Yeah, okay,
yours.
so the utilities are not, I would think we'll cut that to 0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Big Woody Hall, we're gonna leave at 2?
yeah.
Yeah, because we had to put the door in, right? Not the
Roof.
door, the
Big
roof.
Woody and Lavender both stay at 2, right?
Roof,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And the page. Those in the community arena. We budgeted 5 for them. Is that what you want to give the rink and Bozeman again?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
They're doing a ton. Do we wanna give them a little more?
Well, we did.
Yeah, we
Give a
did.
little more when
They
they
went
asked,
up
so I think
once.
let's leave this.
Big alert?
They seem to be doing better there now, Brian, with the
Yeah.
new
They're
crew.
Yeah, no, they're doing good.
So this particular Benito District Rec is donation to the board, so that would be a 0.
Yeah.
Benito Campground, I show $500 budget, we spent $10. That's probably where the sewer charge should have been, but you wanna leave it at 500?
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes I think that's where those cleaning things should come out
Yeah.
of too, because we're putting it in a different line and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Saying we
Yeah.
spent it, we could take it out of here.
I
Yeah,
don't know
we're
if we
putting
ever
it at
fixed
the
that
rink
fire
or
pit.
something, or something.
Yeah.
That should be,
It should be
the
coming
big
out there.
campground instead.
Swan Valley Museum's at $8,000. When we discussed the animal protection thing, we had discussed whether we were making any changes to the museum about their property taxes and such at the same time. We said we'll discuss that at budgeting. Tonight happens to be budgeting. What's your thought?
Is their taxes gonna be higher?
The 8,000 pays the insurance. They pay the taxes on their own.
Okay. Insurance,
In fact, it doesn't even quite pay the insurance anymore. I think the insurance is 9 now, but they just pay the difference.
so should we up at 1,000?
How much are their taxes?
6 grand, 5 grand. They only pay municipal taxes. They pay no school taxes. So none of their tax bill goes to the school district, but they do pay taxes to us. So we get most of that 8 back at this point.
But we should cover their insurance anyway.
Should we up it to 9 now?
That's 9,000?
I broke that.
Why don't we round it to $10,000?
Okay.
Yeah.
10? Okay.
Community centers and halls other, we have a $2,000 budget that we didn't, or sorry, we spent 2,000, but we didn't, what was
That
it?
was at Ukrainian Catholic Hall.
Ukrainian Catholic Hall donation for the kitchen. So it's probably a one-time thing, we can leave it
Yeah,
at 0.
I think we leave that.
Okay, splash park, all expenses, that will stay at 0. Rec other, that was the splash park contribution, so it's budgeted 100,000, I would suggest it goes to 0 unless there's an argument. Okay. Fiscal services, foundational levy we can't touch, the Swan Valley education levy we can't touch, but that's where you see that $3 million figure, it's now 4.3 million.
Actually, even more. It
Right.
was 2.79, now it's 4 point something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually more.
Well, yeah, they gotta add the two together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still 3 million.
The interest and
Sure.
stuff on the debentures, that's not something we can change, I'm afraid. So that brings us to transfers. And this is where things start to get complicated. We start to talk about capital. Where we're at right now, with everything we've budgeted so far, we're $128,876 more budgeted this year than last year for everything combined. But we also have a change to the income. So because last year we pulled money forward, the $281,000 that was budgeted to come forward from reserves in previous year, the actual change right now to our budget amount is $309,876 higher than we were. It's not final, we have some more discussions there, but that's where we're at before we get into changing transfers or changing what we pull from reserves. And that, I believe, let me just check, I think we already, because we had talked, when we talked about those haul roads, we were going to pull money forward from the previous year for that. Let me make sure we did that. Where's transfers? Absolute transfers. Don't think that is done yet. Well, so that was with bringing 100,000 forward.
Capital projects.
Yeah. Let's talk, before we get to the transfers, in our pile of wonder, we have the wish list for capital. And we have our reserve funds. Let's give that some discussion. There's the 2-pager, I think it's 1 page double-sided that starts "Good evening, council members." The Public Works spending wish list for 2026. Let's run through that if we could. So item 1 on the wish list is a trench box open excavation safety equipment. The idea here is for Benito, where they're digging those holes or any other holes they need to dig, they can't legally go into the hole unless they have something in there to keep the ground from collapsing, or they make the hole at least 45 degrees. So if they dig a wide enough hole, they can just walk into it, but if it's a narrow hole, they have to have something. This particular thing, they're saying 35 with taxes would be closer to 40. I did look at the pictures they sent of it, it's pretty, works well, you just put it down the hole, you pull it back up after, but that's on their wish list. Number 2 is their radio wish list. They want reliability communications, they want more radios that work, they want cellular boosters, although most things have cellular boosters, and we need to at some point decide Like, we're gonna make the radios work perfect. It's hard to say we also need cell phone boosters and everything, so why do we have two? They say they can't be without reliable communications. They've had way too many close calls in regards to safety in the past year. The experience having reliable communications will save crucial time in case of future emergencies. Number 3, they are looking at grader upgrading. There are quotes attached to the agenda. To give everybody some idea of what those quotes say. Everyone's sitting, that's a good thing. So there's a John Deere quote for 872 for $795,000. There was a more recent quote, I think, came today that surpassed 800,000. There's a cap quote for 160. That cap quote is $746,000 plus all the taxes, so it would be 800,000.
It'd be 800, yeah.
The revised John Deere is $817,000 for a new machine. Both of those machines, though, I believe have a packer on them.
Yeah, I think they do, and they're both six-wheel drive.
Yep. So in here, they're talking about used ones with 2,500 hours for $550 to $650. We've certainly looked at used ones here that have 5,000 hours on them that are closer to $300-400. But that's on their list. Payloader. Used payloader, they're saying would be good. They've quoted a couple prices here from $130 to $180. Lead hand was at that meeting in Brandon, the training for the roads. He said every other municipality I talked to said it's probably one of the best things to have. I had a conversation with him yesterday for a while. He said it's probably more important than a grader because they could do so much with it. They could do some truck loading, obviously. They could scoop some snow with
I
it.
mean, they can move a lot of snow with one of them big guys too.
They talked about the corners, they can move corners back and stuff with it. So it's something on there. Number 5, a service truck, dedicated tools and workspace. So you'll recall we approved $10,000 of dedicated tools. It does not appear that was ever actually spent. We talked about this truck at one point, so it's back on here again for $40,000. Number 6, 1435 needs a new snow blower attachment. That's in Benito for the sidewalks. They're saying new units around 9, but they're thinking it'd be about 5,000 to rebuild the one that's there. On to the second page, a bypass grapple, number 7, the 210 excavator. They're suggesting a used one's $10,000 or so. So that would be the grapple instead of just a bucket like we have. Number 8, a MIG welder. Make it easier for them to do their own repairs because they know how to use a MIG, but they don't know how to use a stick welder. $6,000. Zero-turn mower or utility machine for Benito because they say the Toro is starting to have more frequent issues. They suggested a new unit would be in the $7,500 range, but some are cheaper to buy used, obviously. Number 10, expanding the Swan River Municipal Shop, taking the wall out and building that much shop over again beside the existing one. They indicate that they would then have a space to do repairs. Council may recall that many months ago we told them to take the graders out of that shop and put them in the other building and use that space to do repairs. I'm told that has not been done. Number 11, a bidirectional tractor with a snow blower to blow snowbanks into a truck in Benito, so they're clearing snow. Anywhere from $238,000 to $70,000 depending on what happens. And number 12, an enclosed trailer that can be outfitted with fittings and tools to complete water repairs. They figure $5,000 to $8,000 for the trailer. That would prevent them having to drive back to the shop in Benito to pick up the things to do the water repair. I believe when we ran the math on that, the maximum distance from any water repair to the shop is 5 blocks.
It doesn't seem like a big amount of money, but it's quite a bit of money that's sitting there all the time.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then you have insurance on that.
And it's number 12 on the list, number
Yes.
12.
But then it says it goes with number 1. You also have another list that says 2026 capital spending proposed. So by no means is that set in stone. I just brought some of those numbers forward and a few other things as well. This is kind of our worksheet for what we're going to think about what we will actually do. So in this one, some things are costed out. We looked at where the funding would come from. So if we're serious about doing excavation safety equipment, I wrote $40,000 down so it included the tax. What are your thoughts on that? Should we look at doing that?
What do we do now? Does the contractor come in and they have to do that, or
We
is there
have had
anything?
contractors, for some of them, we've had a contractor, it's between $6,000 and $8,000 to have the contractor in. We've done 2 of them ourselves, and we're running about $1,200 when we do it ourselves.
But I meant when the contractor comes in, do they have some kind of cage
They
that goes
dig
down?
it at a 45-degree angle. The only trouble is the last one we did, there wasn't room to dig a 45-degree angle. Now it got fixed anyway, and I'm sure we borrowed a cage to do it. Because I would never suggest that we went down that hole.
No,
and saved
that's
money.
what I'm gonna say, there's no way, we shouldn't be sending anybody down a hole like that.
Yeah, and that's what this is about, is if there's not room to dig it out, because that one was in a back alley and there was no space, you would have hit the house or
Right,
hit the something.
right.
You had to go straight down.
Well, I think they got it at number 1 for a reason.
Yes. It would take us 7 repairs.
Not 1 year.
Well, hopefully not. Let's not have 7 in a year. But, when you look at the difference of having someone come from Rockland to do it, you're probably $5,000 a repair.
It's a fair chunk of money, but I think it's a thing that's fairly necessary in my mind. I can't see it being I'm not gonna say it's a no-brainer, but I mean, it's
They
very
don't sell
important.
used ones anymore?
I think
You
it's
see these
about
all over.
the certifications.
Expires.
I think eventually it
Put
does.
a guy 8 feet down there in a little trench, that's, yeah, you can't do that.
No. Okay, so we'll leave that on the list.
I would say, what does everybody else think? What do you think, Byron?
He's less convinced, I think.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know
I
how
wouldn't
they,
go down the hole.
I wouldn't.
So,
I mean, I don't know how they did it this fall.
yeah,
We just, like, we haven't done our own repairs for 15 years at least. We've always hired someone to come do the repairs, but
And
it
they
costs
usually,
bucks.
they rent one of them things somewhere?
They either, like, if they were in a tight spot, they would bring one, and they'd charge extra for bringing it. But most of the times when they're doing repairs, if they're in the front lawn, they just slope it out at 45 degrees. And that's what we do too, it's just when they're in a tight spot, you either then have to go get one or pray.
go and fix it.
Yeah, so.
That's something I think we, you wouldn't see Thomas Swan River guys going down there
Absolutely
without
not.
something.
No, no, and we shouldn't expect ours. If we don't get one, we shouldn't be going down the holes. It's a simple answer. Radio upgrading, so this is just a shot in the dark budgetary number. We suspect we're going to have to purchase 12 handhelds and probably 5 mobile radios, so that's gonna be around $4,000. And then whatever's wrong with Thunder Hill, we don't know. If that's a $1,000 fix or it's a $5,000 fix. So I put 20 in there, we could probably cut it down some. But if we're doing something with radios, there should be some capital spending for that. Do you want to try it at 10? Do you want to try it at 15?
I'd say 15.
Okay. If we don't spend it, it doesn't come out,
Yeah.
right? If we just, it goes away.
Do you
But,
think, yeah.
so it's, if we manage to get away with 4,000, we just won't use the
Great.
rest. Security upgrading, this is an optional thing, so we're looking at whether we should be doing more cameras. Museum and the rec center in Benita were kind of on our radar. The rec center to have something on the skate park and on the splash park, so we know if something's going on there, if somebody gets hurt and we get sued, have some sort of proof of what happened. The museum pitch is to do with the fact that we paid the insurance there, so it'd be kind of nice to lower any risk of claims. There's been people pulling donuts and doing weird things. Do you want to put some money into that as capital this year?
Does it have to be that much?
When I budget a number, I always budget it a little high, because, I have the confidence if we don't spend it, then we just don't pull it out, right? We
Yeah,
leave it
well
be.
then leave it.
Yeah, because if we can do it for 5, we'll do it for 5. I just hate to be $1,000 short.
Yeah.
Being a fire garage, so we had planned for $1 million. We have spent about 25,000 of that, so this is the remainder of that spending. We have all of that money between the gas tax and the grant money, so it's on here because we have to show it, but we know where the funding comes from. The used grader, used loader, those are there as placeholders. If we wish to buy equipment this year, On the sheet that shows us our reserves, our machinery replacement reserve is at 817,000. So here's the legal aspect of it. If we don't budget for this equipment up front, we can come back and pull money from that reserve later because it's specifically for machinery replacement. But if we're doing anything that's adding equipment, so the loader, that's not replacement, that's new. So that would need to either be budgeted now and go to our public hearing, or if we were going to do it later, we'd have to hold a second public hearing. Because it's not replacing a piece of equipment, it's buying something we've never had before. So I've put it in there, same thing, if we don't use it, you don't pull the money out. But do we want it there at all? Do we want room for a grader, do we want room for a loader? We had talked a lot about a new grader. If we do that, we use up pretty much all the money we have. Do we wanna look at used? What are our options, what do people think?
Just a question, just to clarify, if we get another used grader, we can't use that machinery reserve money, right? That's what you're saying?
You should probably have it in the budget, because you can take money from any reserve for anything if you go to a public hearing and explain what you're doing. If you don't go to a public hearing, if you do it after that whole process, it had better be for what it says on the reserve.
Well, adding to the fleet is not going, it's just to replace your existing equipment. So
If
even
it
if
just
we
said
didn't,
machinery
if
reserve,
we bought a
it'd be
new
different.
one and didn't trade the other one in,
Yeah,
But if
And
we
we
put
still
600K in there, we can spend 600K all year or not.
yes,
It gives us that freedom all year to do what we want. We can think about it later.
yeah, because if you put it in the budget now as an optional thing, so that if you buy a grader, you take it out of there, if you don't buy it, you just leave it in the reserve. So that's, but I'm saying, if we know for sure we're not
but
getting a
you
loader,
can't
we
take
should
that
go out.
money out of reserve for a used grader,
You can,
but not without public consultation.
and we public consult on everything we do here. So if we do it now, it's part of our public consultation we do. If we change our mind later, we have to redo the public consultation.
If we put it in the budget now, it's kind of like tabling it. We can decide later, but it's theirs.
Yeah, so it's pre-approved,
Yeah.
but you don't have to
But
spend.
what I'm saying, well, I guess my question is, if we buy a used grader for, say, like you got 400,000 here, and that has to go in this year's taxes, right?
No,
No, it doesn't, so we
it
can,
comes from the reserve, but you have to, at some point, we have to tell people that we plan to buy a grader with this reserve money.
Yeah.
And give them a chance to come here and share their views on it. And so if you do that as part of budgeting, you do that all at the same time, otherwise you do it later on, you have to do it before you can buy it.
Like, to me, if we put the money into the grader right now, it's kind of like the money we put for GIS. We didn't spend it, it just stayed where, you know, if that was a reserve, GIS wasn't a reserve.
But this would be, you know, same as, we've had, well, last year there was some stuff we were gonna take our reserves and we didn't.
Yeah,
So
like
sort of
it's,
thing.
it's kind of like saying, well, maybe spend this amount, but we don't have to ask later,
yeah.
so we're okay.
On the loader front,
But where I'm getting out of it, it says equipment replacement. But if we're adding to the fleet, we're not really replacing that, we're just making the fleet bigger.
You're being
It's
too
sort of
technical.
what-
But hopefully,
what-
if you're
what the rule
gonna
is.
purchase another one, we're gonna get rid of one, because we don't need
Yeah,
six
but
graders.
I'm just going by, I'm just putting a
Yeah.
scenario out there, how does it work?
to say, for example, one grader blew up today, we could buy a grader to replace it from this without anything, just pass the resolution done. But if you're adding a grader, if you're adding a loader, we need to say, we're going to do this with this money if we do it. And we need to say it and tell the public about it before we do it. So the loader front might be the easiest. Is there any intention to buy a loader?
I'd say so.
I'm doing all the talking.
If it's gonna be a benefit to loading and to snow clearing,
So what I can tell you about loaders, we spend about $80,000 a year paying somebody else to load trucks. But buying a loader does not stop us from spending that money. Because for that to work, we would have to have somebody sitting with that loader to run it. We pay the trucks by the hour. So if the truck shows up to load and our loader's not ready to load it, we're paying hourly for the truck to wait.
Plus, we're paying for maintenance, we're paying, like,
Where it would be useful when we're loading our own truck, and say we were calling out of Alpine, we could take our own loader up there, load our own trucks. But it certainly would not save the $80,000 we pay out on loading. It might save some of it, but nowhere near most of it. And most of that we'd still end up paying out, because if you think of, if we don't have a spare person, so if we were gonna do the gravel haul with it, it'd be 2 months of wages for somebody to sit with that loader. And we have 2 different contracts hauling gravel with 2 loaders in 2 different pits. So even if we bought 1 loader, best case scenario, we'd be at 1 pit or the other. We wouldn't be at both at the same time. So, you know, there's, that argument has been made before to me, oh, we'd save 80,000 a year. We really wouldn't. We might save a bit,
When we looked before, wasn't that nice used loader like 40 grand?
yes.
Like this is probably way exceeding what we would need.
Yeah, Ritchie Brothers has lots.
But
of
you're
Yeah,
talking,
they're
about
flooded
1
every
year, you're talking 1 year, this is
Yeah.
a longer term.
I think this
For
is
sure.
like
Yeah.
50 grand would buy some real nice.
You know, I,
For what we need.
if I had to throw
Yeah,
a
it's more
number,
than-
might we save $10,000 a year on loading fees? Maybe at the most.
I'm sure it was 32 is what I
We
think it
wouldn't
was.
save more than that,
But
it might be less.
Yeah, okay. But at 100
It might get used more in winter than it does.
That's it,
in
that's,
summer.
that's what I'm saying,
That's
Terry,
right.
that's pushing back corners.
But that's, you
At
know,
180, I'm not on board for that.
But you said it's not
Aren't,
100.
aren't we getting a snow bucket for our tractors?
We are.
So can't we push corners back with the tractor?
Presumably some. We also have the 210, we push corners of that, take it there, and push it back with the bucket. It's also an option.
Didn't you just say that at the meeting, he said that a loader is more important than a grader?
That is what he said.
Grader goes every day.
no, half the time.
And we still don't know on our skid steer.
Yep.
We could probably share some details on that in camera.
Okay.
We can
It
buy,
might move every day.
I got an idea for
You
the
know.
skid steer, so we'll talk about that again.
Just for you guys on that side of the room, the question was here, we don't know what we're doing about the skid steer. There's a reason it does not appear on the capital list, but I can't share it in public.
So that's not on the list here, that's, I know it's not on the list here, okay.
I suggest we do not budget for the purchase of a skid steer this year.
Okay,
Well, the way I'm looking at this, I'm liable to get a slap from one side of me or the other. I got a good one on the head already today, but rather than spend $800,000 on a brand new grader, I would rather see buy another grader that's got less hours than our oldest one, and buy a loader, not a $180,000 loader, maybe a $50,000 loader, and you'd have everything that, you know, that's my idea.
Well, that's why I say, I'm
500
saying
for
not,
both.
not totally against a loader, but we're not spending
No, not
$180,000 on a loader. We're gonna buy one at an auction.
We don't care if there's a little paint missing.
Exactly, it sits most of the time.
So my hearing, we would like to budget 50,000 for a used loader.
Oh, I'm
If we
just
buy
an
one, we
idea.
buy one, and if we don't, we don't.
Yeah.
Just a
I'd say so.
figure, yeah.
Change the number and so be it.
What's everybody else think? I haven't heard from 4 people saying yes.
no, that's good, I'm supporting it.
RJ, your thoughts?
You can get one cheaper.
Or even
Yeah.
cheaper,
Yeah.
even cheaper than that. I mean,
It does not say that we have to spend 50. We put whatever number, we don't have to do it. It doesn't do it until we pass a resolution here agreeing to it. It
Maximum.
just gives us the ability
Can
to.
we just
Yeah.
lump 500 for equipment?
Well, you could say use grader, loader, et cetera, and put a
Yeah.
number, right?
Because maybe they'll
Just sign
find
up
that they
to
want
that.
juggled, depends what we find.
Shop.
Shop around.
Okay, so most recent suggestion was combine the line together, use grader, loader, et cetera, for 500,000.
That's good, that's good, I'd say
Does
so,
that
yep.
work?
Yep,
Okay.
Because Derek said at the meeting that night, he doesn't, he's not pushing for a brand new grader,
No.
right? In
No.
fact, he puts there in his little quote there, should be less downtime, and he puts it all in capital letters, so nothing's guaranteed.
MIG welder, $6,000. Do we wish to buy one? I don't see anyone saying yes yet. Is there anybody
Well,
who wants to
I-
make the argument for yes?
I think we should likely.
Is one person. on
What do
the
we
list?
have there, a stick welder, no?
Yes.
No, we got more training to
So-
the stick welder.
I haven't priced a welder in forever, 6 grand. that'd be a heck of a welder, I think.
Yeah.
But we keep getting billed for welding because we can't weld. Is it just because we need them big, or
That's what was written down on a piece of paper, that if we had
So,
a
like,
big,
if-
we could weld.
if we buy one, we're being told we won't be paying for all that welding anymore?
It appears that way. I'm not going to warranty that though.
Maybe it.
The MIG welder, is that a stationary welder, like it's in a building?
It's a wire welder.
No, but is it a stationary welder, or can it be on a truck?
Well, you can put them on the truck if you got something to run them.
No, the big problem is you can drag them around as long as it's got a cord. The only thing with the MIG welders,
Easier.
well, no, the line that comes from the MIG welder itself is from here to, and that's it. So if you wanted to weld something way up the top, you have to lift the whole welder way up. Whereas a stick welder, all you got is cables. 2 cables you drag, put the ground on, and away you go. Whether one's better than the other, it's
Likely
a
more
MIG
for-
weld is good for in the shop when you're welding in the shop.
But see, we
In
do all
my
our melt,
opinion.
More
ours is all
indoors,
MIG,
but,
and you can use a little $400 welder.
Well, I mean, whatever, it's, I guess, whoever, if you're.
I'm not a welder, but I guess people can get onto the MIG welder a lot easier, right?
Yeah,
So then are you wanting to adjust the price that's budgeted for MIG welder?
I think it needs a little more investigation
Yeah.
yeah.
Right?
into what's out there and what you can get. And like, it's not a huge item. If later in the year we find we have some money kicking around, we might.
It can go into small tools or something for sure, if it needs to later. Okay, bypass grapple. I'm gonna take the MIG off of the capital list if that suits everybody, and if we do it, it'll go into a tools thing someplace.
Yeah.
With us. Bypass grapple for the 210, estimated at $10,000. Thoughts?
What is a bypass ground?
So it's this part, yeah.
It
So
goes
we're-
past, so it'll grab a little twig like this.
yeah.
Where does that mount on by itself?
On your hole.
No, on by
It's all
itself.
one unit.
So you take the shovel off and you
Yeah.
put this on,
Take your bucket off and then.
or your bucket, I should
Yeah,
say.
put this.
Those will let us grab things better for beaver dams, but also when we're cleaning out a culvert, we can grab our stick and push it through, rather than trying to chain it to the bucket and pull it. This is the big pitch.
What number is it on the list?
So they would just carry that around on the
10,000
trailer with
bucks,
those 2
number
attachments all the
7.
time?
I don't know if they'd always carry it.
How does the thumb work?
You've exceeded my knowledge.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't use them.
the other one, it goes right, that's hard to explain, it goes right past it. It's just like you close your fingers.
Yeah,
Like I looked at pictures of it to try and sound smarter, and it looks like this, and yeah, it closes up.
It's like you
Yeah.
see in a scrapyard, right?
Yeah.
Like a metal
Yeah,
scrapyard, those
yeah,
ones.
similar to that.
But can you control those? Don't those kind of?
Well, it depends
those
if
will
you
spin
got-
like this, they'll
you-
spin
you can
around like
spin
this.
Control that spin?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, most of them are, you can spin them right around.
So folks, thoughts on this?
Well, it'd make it a lot easier cleaning out culverts.
But how many culverts did we clean out last year?
Lots, apparently you just clean
Well,
lots
Yeah, I
of
don't
culverts.
know.
I asked for one in Alpine to be cleaned out and everything got touched.
See, that, well, they're too busy, all booked up.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know, they're cleaning, I heard they're
Use
doing,
them, I think, with a bucket on his back, or no problem.
and they're cleaning out culverts, the same culverts several times. If you don't catch the beaver first, they just rebuild it.
So I've seen one person say yes. Is there anybody else wants to say yes to that?
I could see a good argument to have it, but I see a good argument to have a mulcher that goes on a grader too. With the tips.
Okay, so it's coming off the
If-
list.
So far.
Okay.
So again,
Well, that's one of them items again, is,
It's a nice to have, but do you really need it?
and it's not $100,000 piece, it's a, you know.
Is there such thing as getting a used one or no?
That is used for 10, new is 15.
Okay.
So I have it off the list for now, or are we changing that?
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just.
Like Terry said, it's not
What can
100,000.
What can we afford, I guess?
Yeah, it's only, it's 10,000 bucks.
Let's just leave it for now.
Okay,
Take it off or just leave it?
Just leave it for now.
Let's put a question beside
Yeah.
it, we'll see how we end up here.
zero turn mower for around $8,000. Thoughts? That, I put the new price, cause I can't imagine buying a used one, cause the only reason they're selling a used one is it's no good anymore.
How big of a mower would this be? How many inch roughly?
60-inch?
60 inch?
The
I can't
Toro
imagine you're
is,
getting a heavy built mower for $8 grand.
No.
Probably 12 or 14 now for a good one. I would
well,
think.
if you wanna buy a Kubota, you're looking at
Yeah, like this
nine,
would be
ten,
8,000 would
10
be pretty light.
for likely, yeah, that'll be a 48-inch cut.
This
But
is,
what's really wrong with our Toro?
this is just
Wear
for
out. Sounds like
Benito.
it's wear out, rather gonna wear
It's a
out.
beautiful machine. Our last crew liked it more.
Toro's starting to have frequent issues,
I bought a Cub Cadet a couple of years ago, it's half the price and it's a pretty darn good mower.
And I got a John Deere and it's really good too. But it's 42,
How much dollars, what was it?
not the 8.
More than that,
No, less than that.
really?
I
But they're
hit
talking
Google
about a 60-inch deck. Mine's
Yeah.
not a
I
60-inch
hit
deck.
Google up and there was a 60-inch steel for $8 grand was where the number came from, cause I figured, well, that's what he said.
That's
so-
almost
Yeah,
all
well, that way you-
for that.
You can buy the commercial deck too, there's different thicknesses there.
Yeah.
You get the welded deck, not the stamped deck. And
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like 8 is
So-
more.
but I tell you, that Toro we have is a heavy mower. I haven't heard of any issue. I don't know if you've heard of issues with it.
No, you just got it written on the thing here, this frequent issues.
Yeah.
Is that Toro a tractor style? It's not a zero turn.
It's a zero turn.
Oh, it is a zero
Yeah,
turn?
it's a heavy, nice zero turn.
So may I suggest lightly that if the Toro mower blows up in the middle of the year and we are replacing it, it could come out of the replacement fund without having to do anything more than a resolution at that point. So we'll take it off
Yeah,
for
right.
now,
Yeah.
okay? Service tools, we had said we spent 10, none was spent, I put 12 on here just so you have something to talk about and can't just agree to everything. Do you wanna put some money for these service tools that we're gonna buy, and if so, how much?
So we did,
We said we wanted to buy them. We
yeah.
did not buy them.
Okay, so we just put the number in there because we told them to buy them.
Yep, so you want to do 10?
Yeah.
10 for tools?
So this would be
Where are these?
just for our mechanic to use.
This is supposed to be a locked toolbox with tools in it that only Sean uses.
Is that
So
10,
they're
Carrie?
always there.
Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
And
Our
then
stuff
if-
with the intent of equip to get.
And then if we ever get to the truck, then those tools will just go into the truck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want two sets, so.
no. Okay. I put on here the water truck at the bottom with a question mark. The fire department is quite concerned, they think that water truck's no good. We are supposed to have someone go look at it, we have not heard back yet, we're asking somebody that, you know, with an eye to what it could be safety, to go look, and we just don't know the answer yet. So, it would, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. They're really, really opposed to it. They think that's not enough for truck.
They were opposed to it.
They were.
Maybe they know more about it than we do.
Well, they were saying that you get oil on your feet while you drive it.
Well, then, yeah.
So that's why it's one we need to have someone look at it, because, you know, until someone goes and looks at it, we get that answer
Yeah,
clearly. So I just don't have a someone.
well, they
to
all
say.
know each other too.
Yeah, they do. So the funding for this stuff, the fire garage obviously is gas tax and the reserve we have from the grant money we got, so that's simple. Machinery reserve, we can call anything we do with the loader grader stuff, that 500,000 will come from there. The service tools could, if you wanted to, come from there, that's up to you folks. Do you wanna pull that from machinery reserve, or do you wanna have taxation for it?
We'd be looking at number 6 here too.
That figure of 638,000,
That was just from, I just added those up, so as we've changed the numbers, that needs to change. Cause right now we're being 500,000,
and in our machinery reserve account, we got 800 and something?
correct? Plus whatever we put in this
Or
year.
that, whatever we budget for this year.
Right,
So the tools should probably come from taxation.
okay,
So that's 10, right?
yeah.
What else? You have 48 in there, but what else? did you
Radios,
So I would think that 40,000 for that safety equipment, are we gonna take that from reserve? Where do you wanna get it from?
Well,
Yeah, let's take that.
From reserve, okay, so that'll be 540. The radio upgrades, I would, well, if we took it from reserve, we wouldn't have tax for it if we don't spend that much. You know, we'd be better off to take it from a reserve, because then, if
Well,
we add
then-
it to taxation, we tax it no matter what.
Yeah, it just ends up back in
Yeah,
reserve.
so it could come from general reserve. And then if we don't spend it, we don't actually tax for it.
So then we'll put 15 in general, yeah.
Okay, the security upgrade, we would want to do that general as well,
If we can.
I think we can. And the service tools, you want to just do it as taxation? Okay. So we're gonna have, machinery reserves gonna be 540,000 will be the new number, correct? Taxation is gonna be 10, and general is going to be
25?
25.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall from this, we'll end up putting $10,000 to taxation. And last year, so last year, we did $175,000 to taxation. So we're gonna put $10,000 in that this year, which will bring down what we've done on the rest of the budget. Yes.
Should we put another 16, this making the bypass in there? Just so it's in case we decide to do them, it's in there already?
Thoughts?
We don't have to
Where
spend
do you
it.
wanna put it?
Well, we would put the MIG in the general reserve, I think, and bypass in the equipment reserve. But we don't have to spend it, it gives us that option later if we decide to do it. Because we were iffy on those two items.
So then you're saying to add machinery to reserve, make it 550?
540.
It's
yeah,
540
550.
right now.
Yeah,
Make it
And then
550.
general will go
550?
up by 6.
Yeah,
And it doesn't mean we're buying either one, it's just
and then,
available.
and then put the general at 31, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
yes,
31 at general, 31?
okay.
Yeah, I think so too. But leave the tools in there.
Right, and Brad was asking about number 6 on the list that I didn't bring forward, the 1435 John Deere snow blower attachment.
Well, we've got 2 snow blowers for that machine and they've both been pieced together amongst them, I don't know what's going on with them. But if it's blowing up, we're gonna need one. But now is the time to take that thing to Ag Shield and let them rebuild it. They've been fair to us on the one-ways and stuff, they're not gonna, I don't see the need to buy a new one, rebuild what we have.
Okay, so that's just a repair maintenance thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
But we should deal with it somewhere,
Repair it.
but get it there now.
okay. Well, maybe after it finishes snow.
Well, okay, spring.
Okay, so with those changes, let's go back to fiscal services. I want us to give some thought on what we're putting into reserves this year. Last year for machinery replacement reserve, we put $250,000 in. Do you want to stay at that this year? So we tax for $250,000 and put it in the reserve?
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I can't imagine we can go down.
No.
Because if we go down, we're not gonna have any money for,
Yeah.
you know.
What were you saying, to leave it the same or
Yeah,
bigger?
Yeah, same, I
Leave
think.
it the same, add into
Well,
it.
the price of equipment, you're gonna have to start raising that a little bit every year.
Yeah, I
so-
would think even if we went up, are we at a wash if we,
So right now, we're still at $150,000 more this year. And that's with pulling 100,000 from last year
okay.
forward. So 50 of that is the road fund, but 50 of that is just 50 pulled forward. Transfer to emergency equipment reserve, we have 10 in there. What's coming up in the future is a new rapid response thing for Benito, which they're thinking could be $30,000. And they have, there's a lot of money in that reserve right now, I think. Emergency equipment is 601,000. But I believe that is where the 500,000 is sitting for the fire garage, so there's really only 100,000 there.
So I think you should have to leave that too.
Okay, so we're leaving the 10. Paved road reserve, $5,000, we're leaving that,
Yeah,
okay? Gas tax, there's not for us to worry about, because it only happens if it comes. Cemetery reserve, we had budgeted 2,000, but we didn't actually put anything into it last year.
but we better leave it.
Okay, so you want the 2,000 there. General reserve Benito, that's an LED line, their decision. The other ones, those Benito ones shouldn't have anything in them, so they're at 0. Then we have further down here, the contribution to capital building rentals, $20,000. Do we want anything in that this year? That would be money we intend to spend on renovating things. What we do with the Kenville Hall will go there, but it will also come from the Kenville Reserve. So it's not gonna be for taxation.
But what about the house in Benito?
Well, this could be, right?
Yeah, like we already know that 4,500 is coming out of there.
Yeah. So we wanna leave 20 there?
Well,
That
almost
might
think,
be a little much, eh?
it might be a little much, but
We might run into
Maybe-
some stuff with the Benito office too, once we get it running.
Could be.
I don't know of anything off the top of my head, but
No, I don't think we either.
maybe you
but-
could cut it down to 15, hopefully.
Okay, you want to go 15 there?
15 on the rental?
Because hopefully
At
you're
what-
gonna sell that place in the end and you're gonna make your money
We're
back.
gonna recoup it all back.
At the
hopefully.
Benito office, did we not replace the big door or something?
We
that's
did.
already,
That's already
But-
in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
A different spot.
So do you think let's cut it down to 15 and hope for the best?
Works for me.
The rental, 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So that concludes, because the utilities kind of takes care of itself. Concludes round 1 of budgeting, which would put us at a 2.52% tax increase on the dollar-wise amounts. The mill rate may well go down because assessment keeps going up, but actual number of dollars would be taxing $140,000 more. But, there's one unanswered question. And this is a Councillor Burick question. Somewhere in your pile, you have a colored piece of paper with wages on it. Looks like this. Now, this is the current estimates for spending on all staff salaries. This includes the current union amounts, current for each position this year. But if you look on the bottom part, operator level 2 tentative, there's $86,400 there is the cost to add 1 staff member. And as you recall, we were asked if we wanted to add 1 or not. That's what the price is. So, thoughts on adding 1 or not adding 1?
Not at this juncture.
Okay, so you want to take them out? They're currently in that number. Everybody wants to take them out, say, well, are you gonna have 1 more staff member?
So you mean we're not gonna hire anybody?
This
Where
is
did
the
you find
decision
it?
time.
No, but we're waiting late. I was after this long time ago. I was after this, we're not waiting until March, no time. So, like, we need men, Bill.
We got,
So this is what I was, want to
Terry,
be as clear as
Terry.
I can be.
Terry, we need men, don't we?
Everything in here, there's a name in every single one of those spots, except the one that says tentative. That would be a new position, that would be another person would be hired to do that job. So if we leave it in, we spend $86,000 on it, we hire somebody. If we don't want to hire somebody, we take it out. This would be a new position.
Okay, now we're
Well,
talking.
even Derek the other night there, Brian, what's he gonna do, he said, something like that. What's this other guy do?
yeah, where are you gonna put them?
Derek also said we need 5 additional men.
yeah,
He said, I don't know what we do with them, but we need 5 additional men. Both things were said.
Like, I mean, for Benito alone, how many men do we have in Benito right now? Just 1, right?
1.5.
1.5. Well, we should have 2 there, not 2 full-time.
I don't know. I'm unconvinced. Things went fairly well there last year with 1.5.
I thought we were all here in
And
complaints,
Mark
nothing
didn't
was
start
done.
till May, and it got better from there, so.
See, in the old days, we had 2 people there, but that was because of vacations and stuff like that. You know, you have to have 1 guy, you know what I mean?
we can juggle in.
And
But now we got a whole
those guys
crew of guys.
those guys both did water.
Yeah.
These guys don't.
Yeah,
And these guys have been kind of learning their job as they go. So Fred was getting better, and now we're starting with Tim. Mark is new.
We didn't have the equipment in Benito that's available to Benito today either.
We run graders, and now they used to have to sit.
We had to
in the
get
snow.
Yaki to do Main Street, or if we were lucky, and then we wait.
There's still problems, don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
But if they learn what they have to do as time goes, and, you know, I think what we have would handle it, I think. I don't know.
What have we got for somebody else to do year round, I guess that's what it is. We've got enough sitting around going on.
Not enough for $90,000.
If we budget for it and don't hire the person, we still charge those taxes. But it would then end up in general surplus at the end, right? Like it's still, it doesn't mean we have to hire someone, but if we put it on there, we are charging those taxes. And then if we don't spend it, it goes into surplus. But it's not a reserve thing where if we don't do it, it doesn't cost. This would cost if we leave it in there.
I guess if we were to hire somebody, what position would we hire them in, Brian? Like what do you think?
Well, if we get a skid steer going, we haven't talked about it yet, but you need one man just for that. So if we get a skid steer going, you're short of help, and it's gonna sit all summer.
And then we talk about brushing.
Brushing, is that can be going steady,
We got
that can be
the-
going steady, that brusher.
we got
And that
the
brusher
whole-
seems to be on and off, on and
Well,
off.
it is because the hose, the operators are over here doing this or that, or this hose here, we can go, you know, like it. Mind you, we do have our own truck and low bed now, we can move things around a lot better than we used to, but. You need somebody that's basically seasonal.
Well, even seasonal, I'm up for seasonal too, from May 1st to end of October.
So you could cut that number in half and make it be a half-time job, 6 months a year. If you
Yeah.
want to do that. The world
I mean,
is
you don't-
our oyster. We
you
can
don't
bring
need
in what we want.
Cause once
You don't need everybody employed all winter, but for seasonal, you need seasonal.
Yeah, we don't, like in the winter now, we don't need any more winter.
Are you asking my opinion?
I'm asking your
Why
opinion.
are our
I-
summer students so high
Yes,
in
give
this?
your opinion.
Like that
Well,
seems
you know
like
what,
out
this
of
is just my
range.
opinion.
Way
No
too
matter
high.
where I look,
Because I don't agree to that.
in
I
Manitoba,
think that's a full year's search.
there is nobody
Yeah.
paying 3% at large. It's either 6 or higher. So figure it out.
What are you saying?
I said, any place in Manitoba, there's nobody that's paying 3% at large. They're either paying 6% or higher. You go to Wawanesa, their grass cutting in the town and whatnot is at 8%. They're to take care of their splash park and whatnot, they're paying at 13%. But Benito's paying 3%. So if you up their at large a little bit, there's your math. Now, that's my opinion.
It's good to share.
But yeah, we got,
3%.
You have to adjust those summer students.
yeah,
Summer
we gotta
students
adjust
out
those
here are
summer
not
student
correct.
ones, they're totally out of line.
They're not right.
So that saves us a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Brian, if we hired another guy full-time, what would he do in the winter?
No, I'm saying, I'm in favor of seasonal.
For both.
Right.
To keep
Yeah.
that
There
equipment
shouldn't be-
going, but that equipment's
For
sitting.
For that budget, we could have 2 seasons.
I know.
Yeah, I
Equipment's
agree
sitting.
with that.
But
I know that that's
Operators
not-
that only wanna work a little bit.
Because we get funding for that too.
Yeah, you won't find a
So
seasonal,
tough.
you get a mower operator against seasonal work.
But we
Might
do-
get lucky
we
and
do
find
have-
somebody just wants
We
to
do
work.
have the mowers in there already.
From April
The
to
mowers is what
October, you know, I don't
This
know.
price is a full year for one
Yeah.
of the others included in it.
Yeah, so the mower has to be adjusted too.
Well, the 74-4 does both. That's why the second one's blank.
Oh, yes, I see
Yeah,
that.
it's, because they're each 6 months. Although we have overspent that now, but whatever. So is there, sorry, I just kind of tuned out your conversation there. Was there a decision about adding one more position or not?
Hands up.
Part-time maybe?
So, what is this one, the Public Works laborer mower?
one of those must be, well, landfill's there.
Landfill's there.
So I think he's got too many on here maybe.
There might be one too many already.
Yeah.
Maybe he's hoping for them extra 5 guys. Yes.
Go all in.
Cause there's,
You got
Okay,
operator 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Operator 5.
So we've got Derek.
There is there.
like, I mean, Terry, is there such a thing as getting a part-time operator and running double shifts?
Chad. With keep naming them, we've got.
With what?
For running double shifts, I'm saying.
Wayne. Yeah. And that.
Oh, I don't know how you,
No, if you had a part-time worker, run double shifts, like cutting grass. You can run double shift cutting grass.
This is,
Because one shift is not doing it. One shift is not doing it. We're just barely getting things cut with one shift.
What's the name?
Carrie, you had grass cut in November, didn't you?
they'd have to be cutting at nighttime.
No, not that you, one could start at 6 till
It's not because
2
there
and then
wasn't
2 to 8.
But Brian, it was not because there wasn't the person to cut the grass. The mowers were never fixed.
And that's Mark.
No, Martha's
So-
not.
They don't need more people
One
when
was
there's
getting
people are there
labor
sitting because those
I
people
thought
were
we
doing other
I thought we
jobs.
had our mowers fixed, like they bring.
Well, the
them
mowers
over.
were broke down.
You fix them.
It was for 2 weeks, and it got broke again.
I'm not gonna raise my hand for an extra guy that we're not even gonna find any. I'm not taxing
It might- it might-
$100,000 for
It might
something
be
that's
hard
not
to
gonna
find
happen.
now.
There's these two.
It might be hard to find now, Carrie. Where are you gonna find a good man when you start advertising in April?
Yeah, but we don't have.
I mean,
Oh, it is April.
I know, where are you gonna find a good man?
That's what I mean, so why tax for it?
Okay, so upon further reflection, Public Works laborer mower, that position does not exist.
Yeah,
That should not be on this list.
thank God.
Which is this one?
That's
Public
this one.
Works laborer mower, that
Purple,
position has never been
right here.
filled. That's a holdover from Benito, that position doesn't exist right
Public
now.
Works?
It's the one up above where it's got tentative, is that the
No,
one?
No,
where-
it's
About the middle,
by
about the middle.
urban.
No, no,
Public
there.
Works.
yeah, I took that one off, Byron, yeah. So, what the one we're talking about, we're up about 3 rows, it
Yeah.
says operator
The
level
tentative.
2 tentative?
Yes, that's the one you guys are debating for a while.
Yeah.
Did you settle that, by the way?
No, we're waiting for some guidance.
I think we need a show of hands.
Right, RJ?
Okay,
RJ, you haven't said that yet.
okay, RJ, we wanna hear your opinion, then we'll think you actually voting on this. What do you think, RJ?
I think we need to make more use of the people we got. Instead
Hallelujah.
of
It's true.
hiring more.
Yeah, and how are
I
we-
think we're just throwing gasoline on a fire, in my opinion.
Making use of the people we have, how are we?
Well,
They're-
that's the $64,000 question, isn't it?
They're good workers, just,
There.
If we could get somebody who would work seasonal and run this equipment, that'd
Hard
be
to find.
our ace in the hole right there. And so you got Chad with the hole over here doing something, well, maybe the other guy could have the other thing doing something somewhere else, you know what I mean? Like, whether it be brush cutting or mowing or, and then people go on holidays and then, you know. like
And
it-
sick, a lot of those sickness taken off too.
I mean, but that could be tough to find that person. That's
Well, it's tough to find when you wait this long.
well, for any job, it's hard to find.
So I'm gonna make the adjustments here, removing that one that's on there extra and adjusting the summer students to the correct amount.
So we're 100,000 ahead of the game here roughly.
That's what I think we're going to find out for an answer here. Let me go make the change. Well, it comes to 103,2440 with those ones out, and the tentative one's still in. Here we go, so 103,2440. So that brings us down, removing public works labor and cutting the summer students what they are, brings us down to $15,000 lower this year than we were last year on taxes,
good,
with
with the
the
extra.
tentative spot still in there. I mean, we have to hire it, but it's still in there at this moment.
That tentative spot, is it full-time or part-time?
That's
It's
full.
full-time.
So that's full-time right now.
So you could have 2 part-time men if you
Yeah, it
want,
could be two half-time,
2 half-time?
summers only. Do we want to leave that there?
Yes.
Let's make sure we have these other numbers right before we get all crazy. CAO, finance, new office, got admin assistant, the other admin assistant, office clerk. I think those are all good. They look about right. Okay? So do we leave in the tentative?
Well, we're still, what do you say, 100,000 less than last year?
Just for the sake of it,
15,000 less than last year on the whole budget at this point. If we take out the summer student that was extra and that public works labor that shouldn't have been in there, because this number was already in our budget numbers.
So that
brings us down
doesn't,
to-
means that
Oh, the
there's,
two
that
summer
that means that
student.
we have no increase.
Right now, it's a $16,000 decrease. I'm gonna suggest we put 25,000 into
Yeah.
something, but at the moment, we're at a $16,000 decrease.
for the sake of not setting any precedent of Brian ever getting his way, can we keep the public works position, not the tentative position?
Public works
It's
position.
the same price, so you can write down whatever you wanna write on this. Do we wanna do that?
Yes.
Should we hire someone though, they have to be fully aware they are not just a skid steer
Oh,
man.
yeah.
They're gonna be whatever the heck they get.
But who do we have putting up signs?
It could be this person.
Should be
They
people that
should
drive graders when it's wet out.
Yeah,
And they were.
Yeah.
And they were doing a good job at, they were doing a really good job at it too.
Okay, so, being that we're at 16,000 under, do you wish to add a little bit to a reserve transfer or something? Do you want taxes to go up at all this year, or do you want to stay at 0.0%?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you, with the new school tax and
Yeah.
this, how much percentage is it gonna go up?
So the school tax, if we assume it's 30, historically, school and municipal were about the same. That wasn't the
Yeah.
case last year. It went up way more for school. So we were down to, it wasn't a third, but maybe 40, 60. So if we stayed exactly the same, school's still going up, it's still a pretty massive tax increase.
So it's gonna be like a 5% increase overall, or what?
Oh,
More?
More,
It's gonna be more
Like
because,
20%?
20?
In our budget,
well, just
but
think,
not us.
No, I know it's not us,
It's
but
a
I
school
mean,
division.
it's like you say, when they look at the,
That's that.
they're gonna look at the bottom line, and then they're gonna look at,
that's why,
We almost
that's
need to
why
put
we
a
gotta,
description in with the
Well,
taxes.
see,
that's,
that's
that's
where
why we
Jeremy
gotta
does his
petition the
job.
government
Yeah.
about how we are taxed.
You gotta-
Assessment is not the way to be taxed.
No, not for schools.
well, you're looking at, they're
Like,
like,
that's
they're
what we
like
gotta do,
about
we
a
gotta fight how we're
12% increase.
taxed. Not taxed by
Maybe.
assessment anymore.
So it's
Instead-
1.1 on
That's only hurting farms.
our formula, well, yeah,
It's
but
wrong, it's wrong.
that's not on ours, but it's just on theirs, so.
30% on there.
Well, 37.
so can we actually get away without raising our taxes?
We sure can.
We're close right now,
We're
we're
close,
at
we're $16,000
To the good?
low right now, to the good. I would, like, my own personal preference would be to put 25 into general reserve or something, just so we don't go down, because
Yeah,
nothing's
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
less
yeah.
this
You
year.
can't
No.
go
I
back.
agree,
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
so,
Can't go
Yeah.
backwards.
I agree.
We don't go down, but we don't need to go up that much.
no,
Well, 1 or 2%'s okay, not like these huge numbers are very good.
Like you say, I put in the 25,
right.
and that'll be
So I'm
almost
gonna put
zero.
in 25 and see where we are.
And that'll be
Okay.
almost zero, Byron, right?
Yeah,
Almost?
yeah, almost.
That sounds good.
Oh, and there's one other thing.
Oh, never mind.
So we might have a solution for your problem. We have a letter from
From the who?
the minister, telling us that we must have $71,975 to pay for our 2022 deficit. Our options are to take it through accumulated surplus and general reserve transfers. So we don't have to add that to taxation, but we have to pull that from a reserve. So it has to get put in here,
Okay,
but it doesn't change the end number.
yeah.
But that is here to do. So I'm going to just put it to, what do I have for a line that makes sense?
We were low on our equipment repairs, why don't we just throw more on equipment repairs and then it'll go to surplus next year if it's left.
That might be an idea, would that work for everybody?
Yeah.
What did you say?
So
Put,
equipment-
add
equipment repairs.
25,000 to equipment repairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause we shorted it compared to last year, and it'll still end up in the same place if it doesn't get spent.
Okay,
Okay. So I will add 25,000 to that. That brings us to a tax increase of $7,576, which is a 0.13% increase.
perfect.
Perfect.
Good with that?
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
I can't promise it's gonna stay there, some of these other numbers
Yeah,
change,
yeah.
but That's where it is at the end.
But it
of the
won't
day.
vary
But
like
that,
10% or something.
just wait,
It
just
won't be
wait.
10%.
Yeah.
That general reserve in
Did everybody
Benito,
hear that in this one?
or, sorry, machine replacement reserves in Benito, their mower can come out of there.
We'd have to seek their permission for it. If
Well,
say
they got
yes, it can come over
73
there.
in there.
I know. The trouble with the Benito reserves is they just shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Well, they're there,
I
so,
know. Because anything
Instead
that
of-
came over, it'd be interesting to go back and see what actually came from the village. You know, all that money that's there was charged just to the people of Benito at some point. But arguably, some of the years, they should have been charged that, because it shouldn't have, then it was obviously charged extra, because there it sits now.
well, I mean, it's there, so,
Yeah, I mean-
and if we're really doing it all together anyway, you start using it.
That's great.
Can I
So
ask-
we can always, all they have to do is pass a resolution.
Yeah, well, and I'm
Right?
sure
We
they
just
would.
send it over to them.
Well, we used for the, garbage.
Yeah, no,
truck,
I
it's
know,
just all-
but that's what I mean,
Yeah.
it's there and we don't discuss it, but it's sitting there,
Yeah.
like,
Might as well use
Can I
it.
ask a
Yeah.
question?
We had
That's-
actually at one point talked about using some of the stuff to help out the fire department.
well,
You know.
and that's fine too, but let's look at it, it's there, so.
When the school division is requesting that 30% increase, what does, I think he asked that, what does it affect our base then?
So at one point, taxes used to be about the same. You know, if you paid 1,000 municipal, you paid about 1,000 in school. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Back then, a 30% increase from them and none from us would be a 15% overall increase.
Okay.
Nowadays, school taxes are more than ours are, have been for a while. So a 30% increase from them is going to be lots.
Roughly how much?
If $1,000 of your taxes were school taxes, now you're looking at about $1,350 instead of $1,000. So your taxes are gonna go up $350 just because of the school division.
And your assessment,
And depends on your assessment.
yeah.
But I mean, we're looking at percentage, so.
Yes,
it doesn't
exactly, but
matter.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
So again, what?
it's not our fault
What amount of
what
percentage
assessment.
roughly will it go up?
It will depend
It's not gonna-
entirely on your own tax bill because
Yes,
No, as a whole RM, I'm saying, so.
see, the school division doesn't tax only our RMs, they're taxing all four.
Yeah.
So as assessment, like, I haven't looked at assessment numbers, but there's a pretty good chance our assessment went up.
Oh,
Because
definitely,
Spartan's been something
yeah.
for long, right? So even if the school division didn't raise 30% in the whole valley, because Swan Valley West is a prosperous municipality, what's coming out of Swan Valley West is 30% more. That might mean that they're taking less from Mountain and less from Manitoba this year, and they probably are. Because we're worth more money, so we pay a bigger share of it.
Because of
Okay.
the
So
assessment.
it's hard to give those generalized answers because,
Okay.
you know, the mill rate is yet to be determined until assessment finishes, I think.
Okay.
Their tax base has basically gone up, over 30%.
Hey, it's the same if you look at the town of Swan River versus Swan Valley West. For many, many years, the town's assessment was way higher than ours. No longer the case. We are now the largest municipality in the valley. And because of that, we pay more than everybody else for most things.
Because of farmland.
Yeah. Our population's down, but our worth is up. You know, we broke $1 billion for the first time. That costs more money. It's unfortunately disproportionate, but it is how it is. And yeah, to Councillor Blosha's point, that school taxes need to get off of assessment. Because the people that own 40 quarters of land don't have that many children.
it's not right.
It's all the farmer's fault.
No, it's not.
I'm
They
just
should, who keeps the valley going, man?
So to finish off this budgeting, we will work our magic on a few other things here to see if we can nail down any of those other numbers. We're going to not try to change this much. We'll bring back changes to tell you about them. We will start the process of getting first reading ready
Yeah,
for the bylaw, so it can come forward. We can schedule a public meeting for it. By the time of the public meeting, it needs to be nailed down, but we'll get that done. If there's changes, we'll share them. Otherwise, we're going to leave it there with the intention of being around that, just a few $1,000 increase on the
Yep.
year.
It's good.
That works for everybody?
Like, anywhere up to 1% is more than perfect. You know?
If you think of something we forgot in the last two times we did this, please bring it forward before the next meeting so that we can research it and have it ready to go and bring it back as an answer rather than it being a takeaway next time around.
Yep.
Just to save some time. I think I'm ready for a break. Is everybody else ready for a break?
No, I'm ready to rumble.
So we're gonna take about a 10-minute break. We'll be back after that to go in camera. We have a lot of HR matters to deal with in camera tonight. That'll probably use up all our available time. We will, however, attempt to get this bylaw fixed up during the break, so it comes back. So coming back from the break, we can advise council the bylaw will not be coming back tonight. The error is not ours, it exists in the order from the Public Utilities Board. So we will have to go back to them and have them correct their order. Hopefully in time to have it here for next meeting. Let's go to section 13.1 in camera. Be it resolved that pursuant to section 1523, the Municipal Act, Council shall meet as a committee of the whole to close the meeting, continue discussions in camera regarding personnel matters, negotiations, preliminary discussions, investigation or enforcement of act or bylaw, and I believe that is all tonight. Is there someone to move the resolution? Councillor Burick, who would like to second? Councillor Neely, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That is carried.
There it's gone.
Coming to the in-camera session, does anyone have a resolution to present following in-camera? Move to section 14. Is there any notices of motion tonight? Still hearing nothing. We move to number 15. Be it resolved, this meeting shall now adjourn at 10:37 p.m. Be it further resolved, the next meeting is Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 at 7 p.m. Moved by Councillor Neely. I think I see Councillor Blosha in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. Thank you, everyone.